I don't know what to do. I can't wait for you anymore. 이제 내게 남은 인사를 건네줄게.
When the sage brings the rite of spring, morning dove and the sparrows sing, through the light that the sun will bring, reborn. Flocks are creeping on the wall, swallowtail heeds the northern call, and the last of the frost will thaw, reborn. In the warmth of the spring, I recall everything once more. Heavy air and the smell of rain, muddy grasses across the plain, red-winged blackbirds soft refrain, reborn. In the warmth of the spring, I recall everything once more. As the winter comes to pass, every one of us is home at last. Every leaf, every blade of grass, reborn. In the warmth of the spring, I recall everything once more. In the light of the sun, everything and everyone reborn.
Hey, how's it been? It's been a while.
Hello, folks. Welcome to BPL 7. It is grand finals time here in the B League. It is Requiem versus School of Rush. It is Rags and Irrelevant bringing you the action here for this first to four banger we have on our hands here. Irrelevant, I am honestly so excited for this match here. These two teams are the best that B League has to offer at this point, and they've just taken such fascinating routes to get here. I cannot wait to see them finally face off like this.
Oh, I am so excited, especially with, like you were saying, how they got here. I mean, right now it's the 7th seed versus the 4th seed. No one, if you look at anything ever, usually the top 4 is like, okay, those are one of those 4. It's going to be 2 and 2 out of that. Usually if you're out of top 5, it's a lower chance. It's very unexpected. A very good underdog story to tell. So big shout out to Requiem for making their way from 7th all the grand finals. And yeah, you see our stands here. School of Rush was 2nd on the Birch side. Overall, they were ranked 4th. Requiem was 4th on their side, but 7th overall. But I mean, Birdwatch also was 4th or 8th. And I mean, they've been all the way up to upper finals against them. So even in general, it was an underdog race in the upper league.
Yeah, both these teams coming out of the Birch division of our B League here, and crucially, you know, the two top dogs of their respective divisions, both Mothmania and Aurora, just not able to make it last into the playoffs here. Really, these two teams who, as you're saying, they just seem to have the juice, have what's necessary to get through the playoffs here. And just looking at this crazy run we've had here, I'm sure we've got plenty to dive into with it. But yeah, so sort of seeing where the teams fall off one by one. School of Rush coming through that lower bracket, and Requiem, they've been doing non-stop laps around the other teams coming through.
Yeah, and I mean, you see Requiem's track, their only map loss was in the play-in round. They only lost one map. On that, they swept everyone else. And their first 2 wins were against Reprieve and Aurora. That was the 2 and 3 seed of the playoff round that they swept to make it through. And the only loss to, you know, a team that was also in the play-in round. So their track here of who they beat and how they beat them is super impressive in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, on the other side of it, though, School of Rush, of course, we saw they went down to that lower bracket the first round of the actual playoffs themselves and have just been an absolute haymaker, tearing through the rest of the teams in that lower bracket, coming all the way up to the grand finals, once again taking Birdwatch, who seem to be like the next possible competitors, the next contenders to Requiem's dominance in the upper bracket there. But these two teams, the ones meeting in the finals here. So yeah, both honestly performing incredibly well through the playoffs here, as you said. Not really exactly who we'd expect to find here, you know, considering the regular season, but it just goes to show how playoffs is really its own beast, and you really cannot count solely on performance throughout the season to give a good picture of how playoffs are going to play out.
Yeah, and as we saw there, of course, we have our sorry. Oh my god, our lineup's coming out. I just like swallowed a bug or something. I mean, we have 2 tanks for sure, 2 DPS, and I mean, everyone else on the support side is flex. So expect a little bit of something to change. They probably have a plan, but you never know who might get swapped out, especially who's all here. If they even have more than one person on the sub.
Yeah, really solid roster coming through from Requiem. And on the other side, of course, talking about School of Rush, our second team, and the mirror, essentially, to the run that Requiem has had here. Getting to see these players, Lucky, Twisted, Amigo, Wurzel, Boop, Keed, and Riptide. Hoping to see a good bit out of all of them coming through here. And like you said, having that flexibility on their backline really is going to give them a lot more to work with in terms of playing these different compositions here.
Yeah. And on the other side of things, at School of Rush, they're also pretty flexible, but they have a lot more support lineup. Empty is their only flex and of all roles, so Empty could come in anywhere they need them to be, but everyone else is pretty dead set on what they're gonna play. And I mean, I watched School of Rush throughout the season. Gala on the Widow on any sniper is insane, especially with the new Hanzo buff. He was kind of old, it's new to me. And Fish is a crazy tank player from what I've seen as well.
Yeah, without doubt. Gala, of course, a role star for the B League here on DPS, of course, and also Rookie of the Season here. So big congrats to them, of course. And so coming into this match here, I mean, there's a lot riding on their shoulders along with the rest of the team, of course, but to receive such recognition coming in to the grand finals for B League here, there still is a level of performance you're going to need to expect from someone who is Rookie of the Season and also a role star coming into this. So yeah, with the rest of the team, of course, Banana Shake, Fish, Fish, Fives, Gruntfuddock, and the rest of them on the back line doing such a wonderful job to support their DPS line. It's honestly been such a team effort throughout the entirety of this season here. But look at the map stats here. The first pick of Blizzard World. So yeah, really clear favorite here for Requiem. A very obvious pick for them to make, and I'm honestly glad that we are getting a little bit of variety in terms of our pick here. It's not just purely the classics. Blizzard World is certainly not the oldest map in the pool, so getting some variety here is certainly a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's great, especially, I mean, with Requiem getting, first pick for a map. Of course, they'll get first ban, but you have the ability to choose your home field advantage. You have, clearly, you played with any of these maps, except Hollywood, are in your favor. You have an idea. You probably scribed them a lot. You have a set lineup you want to run. You have an idea how your team plays and who plays what. And of course, bans could come in and may mess with that. Who knows? I mean, we saw the other night, the bans for Lijiang were not good. So who knows, these bans are going to be actually scientific or not for this round.
Yeah, first bans are already come through here. So Requiem has decided to ban out the Brigitte. That is off the table. And School of Rush ban the Freya out. That is one of Gala's certainly best heroes without question. So now there's always the question of, you only get one ban per hero throughout the entirety of the series here. Is this the map you need to have that Freya off the field, or might that be a ban you wanted to have later on in the series? Clearly, School of Rush, they want to start things off on the right foot. They do not want to put that weapon, or rather, yeah, they do not want to have to worry about that Freya coming in here. They feel that they can handle things well enough in the balance, but Requiem certainly not wanting to play any of these Juno Brig backlines.
No, and especially on a map like this where there's a lot of space and your tank has to make room to get to that back line, Brig will always be that issue. So with Brig gone, it helps them. Maybe if they're gonna run more of a rush dive team, they have a better chance to get that back line. But I would be surprised if I see Ana Zen Bap, and the back line might just punish the tank if they get away with it.
Yeah, many hybrid maps tend to suit a more bunkered up style, a less mobile backline, and certainly Blizzard World is no exception to that. Of course, that high ground for the defense, around that initial choke point is crucial to set up, for example, your Anas and your Baptiste here. And it looks as though, yeah, there's a bit of a hint of that on the side of Requiem so far. But School of Rush looks as though they're about to do exactly what they're expecting. More of a dive situation being piloted for them coming out the gates here, as of course that Lucio Kiriko backline, classic in terms of speeding your DPS line into it here. Gala on that Genji, truly one of their most devastating heroes, and Fish on that Winston is no slouch either.
Yeah, definitely. CN underscore on the ball. I have not seen this often played on defense at least. So excited to see how this works. Twisted, Advanced Shake probably can go Tracer one-on-ones, but they're going under, which is a very different approach than normal. Usually it's right through the gate.
Yeah, underscore having a tough time marking everyone as they roll directly through and on to their faces there. Fish and Grunt falling a little bit low here as the initial push from School of Rush comes through, and eating a lot of damage. Of course, not a ton of burst healing to be had on their side here. Kiriko is really all they can hope for, and that Gala falling low immediately. Boop taking Fish down as well. That Iyari is so devastating, especially at close range. And this backline is just so lethal on the side of Requiem at this point. So much potential for them to be DPS heroes in their own right alongside their support kit. So a really solid first hold for Requiem here. School of Rush, we'll see if they make any changes.
Yeah, I mean, with Fish on Winston, that bubble is going to be his best friend. If you don't have health before you dive in and you die without your bubble trying to save yourself, yours can get tore apart. I mean, you just have two DPS back line. You have a Soch just not going to look away from you. Would not be surprised you just getting targeted the entire map.
Banana Shake swapped over to the Sombra here, an immediate chance to try and counter underscore whenever possible, who's already built up, it has to be said, towards this minefield, ready to go essentially here. Twisted also has a pulse bomb, but not going to need it, honestly, coming into this fight here. School of Rush yet again getting picked apart one by one, and this high ground control has not been ceded at any point. Requiem have just been so bunkered down, and with having that mobile tank in that Hammond, it's just been such a wonderful pincer maneuver for them to usher the team into their clutches.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky can just sit up there with Keed and do what they want, while Twisted can just kind of stay in your team and run around and not really worry about being targeted, because they're trying to make some space, trying to get someone off height. I mean, you got 3 people on height, and you're going to dive them, and they're just going to run away.
Yeah,
So
Fish heads for
then
the
you have
high
to
ground,
play something.
but has to head for the hills, unfortunately, as the minefield comes out for Underscore. Does get hacked up, but that is still a lot of potential damage just waiting to be walked into by School of Rush. Underscore has to play a bit more carefully here, trying to roll out to get a little bit of healing to be supplied here, but the sound barrier does come through from Gruntfuck, not enough to stave off the demise of Fish there, as Gala and Banana Shake finally collapse and get some kills to their name here. It looks like Requiem is going to have to fall back for just a moment, but with 3 members of their team still alive and kicking, the rest coming off very quickly off spawn. That blade being pulled from Gala, though, that is exactly what they need to clean up this fight. No chance at all for those ultimates on Requiem to get any value whatsoever. The pulse bomb and the window given to that fight, but got nothing for their value. School of Rush, they cracked that one wide open eventually.
Yeah, and going to this School Rush Fish swap the Diva, why just to get up and down from height here. Let's see this longer range of attack. Yeah, you have two ults versus one. Our ult still can be devastating here. It's got to kind of pull out that cleanse to make it somewhat worthwhile.
Yeah, the Rush ready for 5s, you know, could be easily laid out over this high ground route that it seems that School of Rush wants to hold control over. Underscore is really the front line and back line all in one, essentially trying to keep tabs on everyone on the side of School of Rush here. Banana Shake falling dangerously low. They're not able to get away as that Captive Sun just does so much damage. With someone like Boop to capitalize it, you are not going to get very far with that one laid down on top of your health bar. So with that, the first foray into point B has been a bit stymied for School of Rush here. Requiem are trying to whittle the clock down as much as possible, especially considering they don't have any ults coming into this next fight.
Yeah, no ults, and you're kind of relying on getting your picks early. Because you don't have your first pick. Rush comes out early, way up height, trying to get something working. They push them all up height, and the Rush now having to fight low. So, not horrible, but height advantage is now gone, and first pick off is 5. Wow.
Yeah, not only losing the high ground, but of course all of that value that was about to come from that Kitsune Rush. Essentially, Requiem decided to just beat a retreat and never mind the high ground after all. And with that, School of Rush chased, but unfortunately was taken into a trap. And so everyone got blasted down. 5s and Fish's mech falling first there does mean that Requiem, again, they're holding strong, and now they have built up towards a good slate of ultimates here in School of Rush. They're looking a little bit shy in that department.
Yeah, and with, under 2 minutes ago, at least for the second point, EMP is clearly going to be saved here for mines, but you have to, wow, big pulse bomb coming early from Twisted here. And, I mean, you're already down one. I mean, you got to look at someone, or you just got to play your timeout.
Yeah, that's that fight done and dusted before it can even get off the ground there. Only 1:30 left to go. There were 4 minutes in the time bank once they finally capped point A, but we have been whittled a good 2:30 off the clock here. Requiem has been doing so well in playing hard to get. Of course, Underscore here is able to roll around and absolutely set up the dominoes, and with that order of operations, the minefield into the EMP is a perfect system there run by Banana Shake, but will it be enough to move them forward? It looks like it is here, as Gala combines along with the 3 kills onto the front line. Twisted Underscore taken down here. Finally, School of Rush are getting a chance to push, but they're down to a single minute.
They're down to a single minute, but hey, you only use EMP to take out mines. That's a big zoning ult to get rid of. And you have 3 ultimate tank versus the 3 on the other side. And 8 can definitely stop at least 3 of them. Something's done.
Does not want to get that Captive Sun eaten, of course, playing so carefully around Fish's defense matrix, but Lucky is there with that overclock. Sojourn ult doing so much work, but unfortunately does get taken down by Fish, falling so low, and that just there rocking a hard place. Seeing that Nerf bat go nuts is honestly kind of insane. School of Rush, they knuckled down at the very last second with less than 30 on the clock. They do manage to clinch out point B here, so we are into point C. What looked a little bit dire is now looking completely doable here.
Yeah, especially going to this Fish moving again to a different tank. 3 different tanks for 3 different points. I mean, hey, if that's what the plan is, the plan is working. So I can't hate it. I can't hate it. 5 still has Rush ready to go. On the other side, Requiem, they have Pulse Bomb is next. Yeah, I mean, again, full out cleanse could be devastating. At least get someone out of the fight early. Let's go.
Yeah.
Punish for here.
Fish so hungry here to hunt down Underscore, and yeah, Banana Shake is the one to get the finish on them. They've just been playing so many excellent counters here over the course of this offense here, trying to do their very best to keep Underscore nicely under wraps. But despite getting those minefields off, I mean, really just not getting a whole lot of value from that first one there, especially since those EMPs have been so beautiful out here from Banana Shake, who's about to have another one on line here. Underscore dives in, but just eats so much CC. The rock thrown in as well as a hack. Just managed to get out with his life, but that is faint praise here, as we're now under a minute on the offense. So of course, time is being whittled down on the defense here. Requiem is doing a good job, and Underscore flattens Banana Shake. That's exactly what you want to see. Getting rid of this problematic Sombra. It's been such a devastating situation here. So School of Rush have to rethink their approach, and under 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, this will be last fight, and I mean, yeah, EMP is going to use her mines. I mean, if you're a Cream here, you have everything going your way right now. If he comes out, does not matter. Fish still goes down to a mine before the EMP goes off. Not what you want to see if you are School of Rush right now.
Order of operations a little bit messed up there. The arithmetic just doesn't math, unfortunately, as Banana Shake cleans up Twisted there. That is going to be a potential inroad for them, but Underscore is still alive and well. Fish comes back, spawns pretty quick. It's just right there around the corner. Now on the Orisa. So that is 4 tanks here for this tank player on the side of School of Rush. Already overheated, trying to pump in so much damage, especially alongside that Kitsune Rush here, layered on both sides here, layered across the cart. Fish cleans up Lucky. No chance to get value out of that overclock. Boop, though, getting the best of Gala, who's about to build up to the overclock of their own. No value to be gained on that side of the equation either. School of Rush still fighting for their life here on point C as Twisted cleans up Grunt. That looks like that's going to be it for their push. The final members falling one by one here as Fish is just the last one to fall. And Requiem holds strong on defense. No full cap to be had by School of Rush, but they certainly got further than we would have expected coming into point A.
Yeah, point A was a bit of a struggle for them. They finally got like a couple pick or two, made the space, pulled out ults, got going. Then they got a second point, and I mean, like you said, they had 4 minutes of the time bank. And then all of a sudden there was a minute 30 and they weren't even underneath the bridge yet. So close call, at least for the second point. Third point, they got the distance with what they had. And you cannot be upset by that after getting kind of just punished, picked off one by one to then go in almost all the way to the end.
Yeah, and really showing in the numbers here. I mean, as far as eliminations straight up, Requiem does have, the benefit, the lead over, the net essentially of School of Rush. But School of Rush was just able to find those, crucial clutch moments to make it count when necessary. Now, crucially, of course, Requiem does have a win condition here. They can close this map out. No need for extra innings whatsoever if they make it to that gold box of victory. But again, this is a long map, and we saw just how much School of Rush struggled, as you mentioned, to get through point A. So certainly there is a lot of map to cover before this becomes a done thing for Requiem. But we'll see if this comp sticks coming out of the gate here. Underscore sticking on the ball, which certainly makes sense, but School of Rush, I mean, they have to be able to see this one coming, and certainly they proved themselves able to counter it pretty effectively.
Yeah, I mean, you have someone there with the big meteor rock to get something out of it. Widow early, trying to find something, gets nobody. I'm gonna do a quick little swap. Not a bad idea. But yeah, it's kind of playing slow. Underscore already trying to find first pick without his team even being there entirely. Trying to get something going. Everyone's they're all playing kind of back. Score's playing kind of back. Only few playing up. This could be devastating if Requiem plays this right. And it's just, yeah. And they're just gonna just team up here. Big grip there. And Shake is the first one to go down low. So not the best start for School of Rush.
No, School of Rush taking that far high ground at the very back of the objective here. Honestly, a very passive place to play here on point A. And unfortunately, it's not really suiting them very well, as Fish here on this Sigma certainly look comfortable enough on it. But do not forget that swapped off it on that final push into point C. And with that, I mean, that is so much faster a take for point A here. Requiem looking unstoppable here. And they were honestly met with very little resistance here, Relevant. I'm kind of scratching my head at School of Rush's defense.
I think Underscore and Boop just kind of pushed, like the 3 people who were on that back spot, just pushed them up through that little gate there, and Fish just didn't turn. And Fish was all left all alone on point by himself. And Requiem, everyone else there just picked up the pace and just took quick work of them. So they playing split not really going to work here, especially when you have two people on the other side who are just going to run circles around you.
Yeah, it's so hard here. Fish taking damage left and right, and that shield can only do so much. Can only be placed mono-directionally. It has to back up. They're building up towards ultimate School of Rush. They certainly have 2 for their back line. Well, they have 1 and 1 in spawn for all that's worth there. Lucky has just been nailing these headshots on this Hanzo. So low. Gala, unfortunately, gets taken down. Underscore lands directly smushed. Oh, despite the tree being spent from Grunt Buttock, it is too little too late to save anyone's life here. And Requiem making me eat my words here. This is one of the faster speed throughs of point B I have seen here. I'm expecting some swaps here from School of Rush with all these ults being spent.
Yeah, Fish is an ult, and Gala's gone again. Wow. Big stagger there from Lucky just to pick off a DPS. And now they're gonna have to wait. They get a touch. They're just trying to keep it alive. They are down someone. It's very possible. Wow, he does come out.
Okay, Fish back onto the Orisa. I like Orisa for a pick coming over this, but unfortunately it's just, again, not enough here. Underscore has been unstoppable, moving through the front and back line with just grace and ease, slipping through like water. More of a liquid than a solid. Kind of really undeniable at this point. Yeah, a little bit of showing off, a little bit of Charlestoning on the cart. Not at all out of order here, Twisted. Pulse Bomb ready to go.
Pulse Bomb ready to go, and I mean, again, they're just... You see, Underscore is playing so up in front with Boop here that they're just okay with applying the pressure. Because, look, he can just get out. He knows he can get out with no one following him. Ooh, Banashik almost goes down to the Kiriko. Banashik still trying to get some of this pulse bomb. Held it on for about a fight now. That's one ult, pops out. Trying to get someone. Ooh,
yeah, Fish swapped over to Ramatra now, and hopefully that'll be the final secret sauce. We've just seen so much, you know, flip-flopping here from the tank line, and yeah, completely the case that Bob doing work, and Underscore, of course, getting taken down, still gets a good bit of work done here. But School of Rush, they should have the defensive advantage here. Requiem has a very close spawn, so Underscore can get back into this pretty comfortable here. But Banana Shake is being hounded out by Boop and the rest of the backline. Underscore diving directly onto the head of this Tracer here, as Fish has not really had much of a health bar to work with. The further we get into these fights, the lower and lower they go, just holding up this block as much as possible. Not really able to get a ton of value out of this Ramatra pick, and really no answer again to this Wrecking Ball here. Twisted and Grunt Buttock just combined, or Boop rather, to take the screws to Fish there. No more Ramatra, no more tank on the objective here, and honestly, no more members of School of Rush. There's no chance to touch. Banana Shake hounded down the sidelines. And it looks like with the final members of it trickling through, this should be the very last seconds of the map here. All right, the rush coming through from Fives. All right, we do have a last attempt for School of Rush to make this one work here, but I don't think they have enough bodies to make this one go their way, as the Pulse Bomb from Twisted still ready to pump out here. Hopefully trying to find a good pick, good stick onto the back line as quick as you possibly can at that point. But Underscore is still rolling around, causing so much chaos around all members of School of Rush. Another beat coming through. This fight is still ongoing. There is no end in sight here. With that sound barrier, it looks like School of Rush might have finally got themselves a breath.
They might get a breather here, but I mean, dealing with Underscore or Boop, they're running it down together, but they're playing kind of split where you can't look at them together. You have to look at one or the other, and it's just causing so much havoc for School of Rush. But School of Rush still in the pit, trying to stay alive here. Trying to get something going. Oh, I think I'll help now.
Yep, Gala directly takes a dip into the drink there. Unfortunately, not going to be able to really help so much with this defense. Trying to speed everyone in here. Boop is trying to keep the rest of the team alive and kicking, moving all the way towards this game. Yep, all right, Gala having a great time, has to be said. They are, that is our rookie of the season, folks. Yeah, they're doing so great. Yeah, 11, a great time coming back to the spawn at that point. Boop takes Grunt Buttock out as well with that Annihilation rolling through from Fish. Hopefully that'll take out some of those mines, but Twisted lands the Pulse Bomb. Fives falling down. Keat answered for it on the opposing side as Gala is back, but not for long, as Lucky will send a railgun through the dome, and it looks like that finally has to be enough, surely, for Requiem to take this one. Once they clean up Grunt Buttock, that is going to be it. They will take the map and begin the series off with a bang, going up 1-0.
I mean, Requiem just showing that they deserve to be here. I mean, already up 1-0 on the first map. And I mean, they want to keep this win streak alive. They want to keep this sweeping series of these playoffs alive. And I don't blame them. I mean, only having one map loss, your morale is through the roof. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah, Boop and just underscore just going nuts. I mean, until Muscle Rush can figure something out to get rid of it, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be able to stop that. That dive combo is brutal, especially you have a Tracer as well coming in and out just for some little poke damage here and there. It definitely puts your head on a swivel more than you want.
Yeah, I would certainly expect to see a Wrecking Ball ban at some point in this series if that is the tempo of things to come here. But yeah, just like you said, Irrelevant, I don't know what answer there is on the side of School of Rush for this. It really felt like everything, I mean, we were just seeing an absolute, circus, just complete merry-go-round of tanks being had. Fish was not able to settle on anything, and there was just no way to protect the entire team against what Underscore and Twisted were able to sort of, put into them at any sort of angle. Honestly, it really felt like they were being put into a corner and made to play Requiem's game, and they just never had an answer to it. They never quite learned the rules. So I honestly want to see them play their own game coming into these next maps here. I want to see them play their own tempo, play the speed they want to. Honestly, seeing their dive comp they rolled out on to start with here, obviously it's not a terribly defensive composition, but neither would you describe Requiem's comp as defensive, and they ran that same thing on their defense. So yeah, all bets are off in grand finals.
Yeah, and I mean, School Rush here, they already picked Junkertown. Never mind. I would say they get to pick the map now, and hopefully they've won this a lot. They've played a lot to where they know that they need to be doing. I expect Fish to crown on Sigma, because it's a very Sigma-centered map, or Matra, one of those two. But again, if they don't ban ball here, Underscore could run with it, with ball, again on this map. So School Rush either has to pick it now and get at least one back, or they need to have trust in themselves to, hey, we can get all the way to the game point match, and then we can ban ball them. So big decision here by School of Rush. Requiem on the other side, I mean, your biggest issue was maybe Soj, maybe the DPS backline, or sorry, yeah, like that's where you're looking. Comes to tanks, North Clear was an issue. Fish was always having a low health bar. There was nothing you had to do to worry about him. It's definitely looking more towards a DPS ban by Requiem here. At least that's what I would go with.
All right, we'll see what exactly they want to land on. I agree. I think Sojourn was probably the best. Lucky, they were certainly doing the most, probably the best option there, or rather, yeah. So getting that out from, you don't really want to ban out the Tracer, of course, because Twisted was just rolling it so well himself. That even getting it out of Banana Shake's hands is really not worth your time there. You probably want to take something away from Gala, as they say this has been so devastating in previous series. Of course, not able to get as much value in this previous map there. The Genji, of course, I don't think that's a full ban, I would say, on this particular map. There's just so many other things that they could run. Just having so much skill with those long-range DPS heroes that, you might want to get something like either the Ashe or potentially even the Widow out of their hands. I don't know, hard to say.
Yeah, this is Requiem. They're up 1 already, which is a great start. And I mean, as we see them, they played so well as a team. When it comes to this ban, you could either pick something to just protect yourself. I know you don't get the first ban, or because you get first ban, so protect yourself now so they don't take it, or you just try to get more of an advantage. So, I mean, you could just rid of a tank here, that way they can't ban ball in general, and then there's not much School Rush could really go off of that. So, it's very possible it could be a tank ban just to have for protection-wise, at least this time around. Yeah. They really don't have a specific, and there it is. Or Matra ban, not a bad ban either, just one to take out that could be used, as well as, I mean, if you're just going to run ball, you have ball now for sure.
Yeah, from what we've seen of Fish so far, certainly sticking with those Sigma and Ramatra, those more poke-based tank compositions. So getting one of those off the field, and honestly, I really feel like Requiem, they feel like they can handle the Sigma just fine. They did not really have a lot of issues in working and running rings around Fish on that pick there. Again, there's just not much you can do against the ball apart from landing an accretion, and that's a decently long cooldown there. Of course, with a perk, you can slow that down and shorten that a little bit, but that's your best chance. And, you know, unfortunately, Underscore is just looking too solid, too well practiced in that role, and the team able to orbit around him in that way, that there's really no immediate answer to that, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, your School Rush now, of course, your pick would be Ball. But I mean, if you're looking for something else to go off of, maybe I don't know. You look at support backline, if anything. I mean, DPS is going to be up in the air. I expect Gala to come out on Widow just because it's such a big Widow map. Banashake could play Tracer, probably play, you know, someone else off, maybe Genji. But you have a touch. Oh, okay. Band of Lucio, not horrible. I don't know for this type of a map, but it's up there. It's a decent ban. I don't know if that was best one they could have picked, but it works. It works in their favor.
Yeah, we do often see, you know, Grunt Fuddick playing that Lucio, but I guess that means they're not intending to play those compositions. Obviously, they won't be able to, but that does indicate that either they don't feel like they need that and they don't want to give the other side that potential. Yeah, there's no real protection to be had. Again, you're banning second there, so that's not going to be an issue for you. But yeah, so I would expect to see a bit of a longer range, probably poke-based defense, or rather support line from them. So still plenty of room, tons of sight lines to operate from here. And that goes just as well for DPS as it does for support. So Ana sees so much value on this map here. Even Iari and Bap certainly get a bunch of work, especially through point A here. So we'll see how quickly this point A goes, both on offense and defense here. Requiem, I mean, it felt like they were setting a record through point A last map on Blizzard World. So I would not be surprised if they try and take that same tempo. I mean, they've not met any roadblocks yet, so why stop now?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, School Rush with the Lucy ban, I mean, we saw Boob run around Ball. Helped in that sense. But yeah, Requiem, they can set another record here, 100%, if they really put their mind to it. School Rush has to play, I mean, they have to play more bunkered up. They cannot be distracted by, hey, we have Ball in our back line and Tracer in our back line. Oh, we have two more in front of you, trying to take you out. They have to play more cohesively. At least if they're going to talk about comms and about this, they need to have one or two clear voices. Because I had the suspicion that, hey, when Ball was in the back line, I bet all three people who were getting rushed were saying something out loud, and I bet all the Fish heard was the back line. Didn't know what to do because he had to deal with people in front of him. So a little bit probably comms, probably just more clear. But you got to run your own tempo. You got to, if you're playing defense, you need to force whoever's playing attack to play slow. You want to play at your pace. Same with attack, you got to run at your pace. If your pace is passive, it's slow, and slowly wear them out over time, make it happen. Don't fall into, okay, they're doing this, this, and this in 3 minutes. We have to match that. You don't necessarily have to, because over time, if your way works first, they have to follow with you. So, advice is just do your own, like you said, make your own pace, make them stick to it. Don't change for them.
Yeah, whichever team sets the tempo is really the one that ends up winning the match 9 times out of 10 at this point. So we've seen Requiem do that to immense effect in the first map of the series here. So we're really looking for School of Rush to have the confidence in their own game. I want to see them, just like you said, I want to see them run their style confidently and with, you know, a level of certainty that they can handle it here. Not having, if they're not going to chase, don't chase. If they are going to chase, if they are going to rush down and pounce and have everyone assassinate one team member at a time, that's great. Do that. Stick with that. Because if they allow Requiem to set this tempo and force them down into the muck with them, into the chaos, we've seen how well ordered Requiem's chaos is. We do not have not seen that same thing yet in this series from School of Rush. So, yeah, I want to see them fully play to their own strengths, to their own potential here, and hopefully they'll get a chance to. Again, Junkertown, every point has decent sightlines here, but still all three, you know, whether it's the crazy sightlines of point A, the high ground, low ground of point B, and then in C, you've got that, you know, massive horseshoe potential there, that just massive U-bend that the cart rolls through. So it sort of gets more and more funneled, more and more closed in the further we get into the map here. And that could certainly change up the way we play on our offense here for the side of Requiem. So School of Rush needs to be able to adapt.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do, of course, right? It's still early in the series. anything is possible. You know, it's first to 4, best of 7, still early. There might be some tricks up their sleeve on School of Rush that we don't know about. So you never know. But going right now, the way it looks, Requiem has it at the helm. I mean, you just got to play around that. But I like the Freya mirror, if that's what they're sticking with, of course. I lied. Of course not. I didn't even say anything. I lied. But Lucky gonna go to the Widow, probably for a quick little peek. I'm gonna swap off soon. Almost does get Banish shake midair. But yeah, Fish, we have Amigo coming out. So Fish is off. Amigo is I'm on the wrong side. Fish is still in. Amigo comes in for underscore, sorry. So we see a mirror with the tanks. Other than that, you see Riptide and Hobo with the Bat Mirror. Other than that, it's anyone's game. So see whose gameplay plays better and which comp is going to be better for them. Right now, again, Requiem just kind of forcing them back. They're playing a bit slower this time around and just letting School Rush take a lot of damage. And there's nothing, not really doing nothing. I mean, there's push point underneath that bridge. Amigo's first to go down though, so not bad. Amigo doesn't get first pick.
Amigo falling is going to essentially put a stop to that first push coming out from Requiem here. But yeah, this Freya out from Banana Shake could put in so much damage coming through here from these crazy long sight lines, be able to peek over the tops of buildings just like you're seeing here. So much mobility at all times, hoping to lock down Lucky and Twisted, falling so low, has to hit that recall just to stay alive here. Fish is building up towards this flux pretty quickly here. Has to be said, Amigo at less than half that same percentage. Banana Shake also about to have Bolo shot. There it is, ready to go. Doesn't want to get that eaten up by Amigo there on the Sigma. Has to play a little bit carefully around that, you know, that E potential from the Sigma. But Riptide is about to have that window online as well. So much healing being pumped through from Requiem here as they push the cart forward and forward under the bridge here. They're now in this first real choke point as Amigo does manage to take down just the immortality field. That is going to be it here. The window comes through, and yeah, Fish is going to have to play a lot more carefully here. Has the flux ready to go, but that Discord and window could have easily evaporated him. Has to play so carefully. Twisted does get the better of Gala, but Banana Shake gets revenge for their teammate there. And the window coming out the other side for Hobo there as the trance out from Keed here on that Zenyatta, keeping the rest of the team alive through that flux. The perfect answer to that ultimate there, and Amigo takes down their opposite in Fish. No chance for School of Rush to do much more than a cursory touch on the objective. Yeah, Banana Shake getting sent quick back to spawn there, and Gala just able to get away with their nope, not able to do so.
Wow, does not get away.
That fake bean pellet launcher is going to take them out of the fight here. In Requiem, it's a different tempo, but it's still quite a fast pace.
Yeah, it's still fast paced. Of course, not as fast. No, not playing dive, but yeah, still fast paced. And School Rush is just letting them take the space. I mean, School Rush used more ults there. Requiem only used 2. School Rush used 3, and didn't really get any value out of it. Big pole spawn by Twisted there. Emort comes out too late. Wow, Gala's gone again. Gala is not having the best time.
Now, the grasp from Fish, unfortunately, not able to do much to keep him alive there as Amigo's just rolling forward. That accretion.
Oh my God.
Disgusting. Banana Shake not having a chance there as they are also just taking Quick Smart out of the fight here. In point B, I mean, irrelevant, this hasn't existed. There was no point B. We're going to get maybe a touch from Grunt Buttock there. The Tree of Life comes to life on the objective, but that is some shade going severely unused here. Gala does get 2 with the Dragon Blade, the Dragon Strike out on the opposite side from Lucky there. Shimada versus Shimada is just so much more devastating as Amigo eats up that bolo shot. No chance for value there. Does get taken down at the end of the day, but it's just not going to be enough. And with that, Requiem just dominating here on Junkertown.
4 minutes. I mean, hey, props to Gala there for at least getting 2 with Blade. But I mean, it wasn't enough. I mean, Lucky had dragons there, still got 1. Ults came out, were flying left and right, and they still came out top. And speaking of ults, other side things, Requiem has Pulse Bomb ready to go again. Riptide and Keith are close to their ults. Other side, Fish is the closest one. Other than that, it's a 20% difference. So Requiem going into this, wow. Okay. Pulse Bomb getting a lot of value. I mean, a take is kind of insane.
Yeah, Twisted has not been missing with these pulse bombs so far. Banana Shake, though, is now on the Tracer of their own and is finally getting some serious work done onto the damage dealers of Requiem. They're finally getting a chance to breathe here on the defense. But there is 3.5 minutes still left for the push here for Requiem. Plenty of time for School of Rush to make some mistakes or for Requiem to just capitalize on any mispositioning to be had here. Riptide's been doing excellent job coming in here on the swap out for Boop. On the side of Requiem here, about to have another window ready to go here as Requiem are trying to move towards the high ground here. You've got Keed and Lucky both sort of making a pincer here, ready to sort of let loose with that Discord and then fishing up with an arrow onto someone's dome if they can have their druthers. Transcendence ready to go, and Lucky, yeah, cleans up Banana Shake there solo. No need for any assist whatsoever. As Twisted and Amigo falling dangerously low, goes down quickly in that fight there. So just so much damage being laid onto that tank line. Requiem just unfortunately crumbles despite an early pick in that fight. School of Rush, they've got their positioning down. That high ground, low ground potential that Gruntfutta gives them on that pedal platform is honestly crucial.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Requiem may have lost that fight, but Amigo pulled out the rock and it made Fish waste ult. Basically knocked him out of grab flux there, so they may have lost it, but that's going to be big coming this next fight. They're down to tank ult that got canceled. Only have one shell, maybe Sheer Life might come up next. OC, but Requiem still has the advantage here. I mean, you're about to come out with window, you're about to have flux. This is getting close to another bomb. I think it's a great pick early on Gala. Not even worried about OC right now. Oh, out early.
Yeah, Fish getting discorded and unfortunately caught in that flux there. Banana Shake goes down. That's got to be to the self-pulse bomb. Deeply unfortunate there. Despite a little bit of ult charge, that is all they're going to get for it. Bit of misclick. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, no value to be gained whatsoever there as Requiem, they're rolling directly into point C here. School of Rush, the Tree of Life comes out. Grunt is able to lay that down and finally getting so much damage in onto Riptide. Has to play so carefully around that high ground potential as the window goes. The pulse bomb out from Twisted, a rare miss on the side of Requiem here. Their Tracer has been just doing so much work here on the offense for Requiem. And the Dragon Strike comes through from Lucky. I don't know if they saw that one coming. Fish barely gets out with their life there, but Gala does not. Taken down by the Dragons coming out from the Hanzo, as Hobo does get the better of Keed in this fight, so no chance to develop towards that Transcendence they were about to have online. Requiem still have a good bit to work with, or rather are about to only have that Transcendence coming in this next one. School of Rush rather have a good amount to work with. Amigo falling low is just able to back up. Yeah, they will finally let that one go, gets healed up as Requiem ready to make one final push at this.
Yeah, School of Rush has plenty of ults here ready to be used. I mean, if Requiem could get a pick here early, wow, it does not save Riptide with trans. They're just too late. And I mean, here's School of Rush, you're up one. And all right, it's not even. So anyone's game, but you have a bit of advantage here.
Yeah, that accretion does hit solidly onto Fish. Has to play carefully, especially that Discord orb directly on your head. And Hobo lets loose at the window, but unfortunately, no value to be gained from it. Just sitting there alone. Never mind, there's value to be gained from while Gala's still alive and kicking here. Rolling with the overclock, trying to take out the last members, the dregs of Requiem here, trying to hide under that lamp, but unfortunately there is no more shade to be gained. Amigo, though, still alive. They did not get the finish onto the tank, and so is just playing such a dance here around the objective, pushing that cart further and further in. Banana Shake doing their best to take down this Sigma, but there is no Discord orb on the side of School of Rush. No chance, unfortunately, to take down this tank here. Lucky is back on the venture, and that is just they need to cause enough disruption here over the objective, and what looked like to be the final few seconds of this push might just be the thing to turn things around at the very end here. Requiem Twisted has another pulse bomb ready, doesn't even need it here. The Ryan pick at the end gets some question marks from Lucky as Requiem in the overtime seconds of the match push through and complete their attack.
That did not look like they were going to full cap that. I thought for sure when it was even and then Fish ulted, all that stuff happened. I thought for an OC came out. I thought for sure School Rush had that in their pocket. Requiem managed to stay alive. I don't know how Amigo got out of that alive. Got the health pack, came back, and still managed to get a pick. So good shout there. I mean, again, stats. Just the elimination stat line is enough to show how this is going. I mean, everyone on the side of School of Requiem is in double digits.
Yeah,
That's-
massive contributions from the entire team there. Amigo, of course, leading the charge on that Sigma pick, coming in, completely off the bench for this map here. Not at all we expected. We expected, especially considering Junkertown, we expected to see some ball coming through here. Certainly plays very well here, but that swap in, they really felt like they had the better of this Sigma mirror here. And honestly, the vast majority of that offense proved them right here. It was only in the final, stretches of point C that School of Rush even came alive at all. Requiem really had their number the entirety of the first 2.5 points of this map here. So curious to see what School of Rush's offense looks like here as Gala rolling out on this Widowmaker being mirrored by Lucky on the opposing side.
Yeah, and Gala coming on Widow. This is what he's known for. I mean, if you expect top tier Widow gameplay, this is you're gonna watch. And I mean, there's a chip damage trying to find someone tries to get differential on the side. Lucky trying to prove that he can also do what he wants. And great entry pick on Riptide, especially on support. That's gonna deal a lot of healing and DPS output. Wow, Amigo is so low and only has Zen heals, so it's gonna be a while till he's coming back in for a fight.
Yeah, this is absolutely what I see out of Gala coming through into this matchup here. A Widow v Widow, but unfortunately, the rest of the team of School of Rush is still alive as well. Not exactly a fair one-on-one duel to be had. Banana Shake makes that one non-issue going forward there. Key does get the kill onto Fish. Get caught out a little bit there. Probably not expecting to lose their tank in this one. It's going to certainly stymie their offense here as Gala, being harassed in the backline by Twisted here as they're all just the last members of Requiem or School of Rush are just sectioned here on this small corner of the map by the edge here. Pulse Bomb does only get that immortality field and the rest of School of Rush are still alive and Hobo is just getting the kills coming through here. Turns out you don't need a tank when you've got a DPS and support line that just gets so many kills coming through. And 5 minutes in the time bank irrelevant. That is even bigger than a Requiem's offense.
I mean, hey, they're playing their pace, and hey, we said don't match the pace. They matched it and actually did better. So maybe they have a plan. It's working. Another pulse bomb. It's not getting anybody. Misses 2. So it goes between 2 people, which is kind of crazy. Let's come out early. I mean, definitely looking for someone here. There's a Hanzo just from the back. Oh, he's not gonna get a peek there. There's no way. Is Gala really gonna wait out for the Hanzo? It looks like it. He wants to. Good ult usage, I guess. Oh, Amigo goes down. Amigo goes down right away. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
certainly
have one.
Time with the ultimate there, but Fish is able to get the better of Amigo, as you say. Yeah, just unfortunately before that Flux comes online for Requiem's tank. Fish getting the better of Keed as well. The backline falling one by one here. And so it turns out that, that ultimate, that sort of time buy from Gala on their offense, keeping Lucky stymied, keeping the rest of Requiem's backline, cordoned off onto the high ground there. Barely a chance to build to their ultimates now at this point, and we're at point C already with 5 minutes 20 on the clock.
Oh my god. I mean, again, they have the full cap, so no matter what, there will be, if they make it there, of course, there will be an OP. But I mean, if they get there as fast as they've been moving, they're gonna have so much time versus School of Rush. I mean, it won't even be fair. Amigo trying to get something here, has Flux, he sees them all grouped out, at least 2 to 3. He wants to get something working here. I think he knows that both teams have enough ults here, and it's just going to be an ult battle of who gets theirs out first and who gets better value out of it. And Lucky does go to the Freya, so spots from 2 snipers to hits against sniper pretty much, and it's just going to pick on Fish.
Yeah, not favoring the group. Yeah, with that pull is just perfect coming out from Grunt. Does trade his life for it, unfortunately, as Twisted lands with the pulse bomb, connecting very much so that time there.
Wow.
And Requiem, just the exact same thing as on School of Rush's defense. They finally come alive here once we reach the dregs of point C. So now is the chance for them to mirror the exact same defense, except this time they want to stop the full cap coming through. Plenty of ults on line for School of Rush here. Requiem only have the backline ults ready to go, but Lucky is about to have the bullet shot as well. So 3 for 3 coming into this next fight.
Yeah, and I expect trans to be used for Fish. I expect, that you have 3 here just to save against probably Lucky. I mean, School Rush has the ults, but Requiem could just use them for defensive reasons. So, Emor comes out early though. Fish is solo, and Wow, True comes out. He goes one. Great first pick. Oh, he's just gonna make him waste it. Yep. I mean, not the worst thing, but if you're a School Rush, that is a big ult to get pulled out. Especially he's only one. It's just him himself. It's not even like saving the team. So
yeah, no chance to save anyone else at that point there. School of Rush, they have drained the entirety of the ult bank on their offense time here. Banana Shake taking Twisted out of the fight here. They just have so much to work with coming through, but Lucky is going to answer back. So without Hobo in the fight, it is going to make things a lot harder to keep up for School of Rush here. Requiem still trying to make something happen on their defense. Still, Gruntfuttock looking for a chance to make things work here. That pedal platform doing so much work in keeping everyone on the high ground. You've got Fish rotating around the central pillar here as Amigo is just answering it from the opposing side. Lucky is just laying in so many bolts coming through, but unfortunately Banana Shake is the assassin here on the high ground. Back line down for Requiem. That has got to be curtains for this defense here. One by one, they have all fallen down, and School of Rush keep on surging forward here.
Yep.
And it is not at all a mirror of their defense coming through here. They have laid claim to this offensive push. 3 minutes and 26 seconds when all is said and done for them to come through in the second inning.
Yeah, School of Rush there, especially that third point versus Requiem third point, was there wasn't much of like fights happening where they all kited. Maybe once or twice, 3 of them pull away and regroup. But I mean, other than that, they were just constantly putting pressure on Requiem, and Requiem would give it back. But there wasn't much of like a warrior on School Rush side. There may have been pressure put out, but School Rush didn't really care because they were doing more of it to them. So again, good shot by School Rush there to put out their own tempo and make it better than Requiem's tempo. I mean, they didn't play a whole different play style. They played a bit better of the same play style, actually. And I mean, we've seen, yeah, Requiem had some good ult usages on that third point. No doubt about it. I mean, 2-piece with the pulse bomb. You had a few come out with things, some got wasted. But School Rush got their picks. And every time they did, it wasn't just 1 or 2. It was, hey, we're going to get 1. Then we're going to domino effect you. Requiem on their attack side was, hey, we'll get our 1 or 2. And then they got swapped out. So School Rush doing better with the catalyzation of, hey, we're up 1 or up 2. Let's just make a team kill and keep 3 on card, keep it pushing. I mean, from 5.5 minutes down to only 2.5, that's still a pretty good push.
Yeah, really solid push and a decent defense being put through by Requiem, but unfortunately not nearly good enough in order to whittle things down as far as they would like. This is certainly going to be a lot more difficult for them to roll forward here. 1 minute versus 3:30 coming through on offense. I mean, that's a pretty stark difference to be had here. So we'll see exactly what, kind of a run we can expect from them. I mean, these Sigma compositions for both sides have been looking good. Like, they both have more than their moments of brilliance here. Getting to see Fish really get the chance to come alive on this Sigma in the way that he wasn't able to in the previous map on Blizzard World there has really been a delight to see, especially on that offense. Getting to see, of course, you're going to see it on these, slower paced, long range sort of maps here, but getting to see this Sigma just push forward and all this high ground potential of, setting up with these pedal platforms with the Life Weavers on the defense and offense as well, is really just allowing for so much control of this classic necessary high ground to be had here. So even you don't even need a dive tank as long as you've got the right kit to be had with your backline there. So really proving the utility of these more niche heroes usually.
Yeah, and especially with Dirttown, from my experience and watching a lot of stuff, is when it comes to you have a minute on the time bank for Fish Push, usually that first point, if the first team fight is taking a while, your whole time bank's gonna be wasted that first point. So if you're Requiem here, you got to make this first fight fast. You can play slow, but if you do, you got to keep that in mind that you're gonna be OT the rest of the time through. So if that's the case, you got to make that first fight pretty worth it. Make them pull out some ults and make it non-effective. That way you come to the second point, you can kind of bully them back and gain as much space as you can. School Rush, when you're on offense or even when you're on defense here, you can play it fast if you want and just have them keep coming out of spawn room, or you can play into, hey, we're just going to keep button heads in the middle for about 40 seconds, for about a whole minute. And then you just have to hope, or you have to make it work that when you use your ults, you have to use them first, and you have to get actual value out of them. Use it first, you should always get value, but if something goes wrong, you get rocked out of an ult, or you misplace window somehow, tree life is misplaced, it could be devastating for your defensive. So Requiem has to make good use of their time bank. School Rush has to keep in mind of positioning and ult track.
Yeah, those are the win conditions necessary for them coming into this. We are going to have the shorter time is going to go first, so that is going to be a bit of an uphill climb, and of course you'll have the greater chance for School of Rush to make their attempt. No matter how far Requiem gets, they have over 3 times the actual bank to work with here.
Yeah.
That is just a massive difference between them at this point. But if we can get something surprising coming out from Requiem to start here, something to really throw School of Rush off their game, that might be just the necessary thing to break this one wide open. Because if it stays with that sort of, both these teams on their very first pushes out of the door, they weren't very quick. The Sigma comps don't tend to play very quick. So that's really going to work against Requiem coming into their much shorter offensive time here. I wonder if we're going to see them switch something up here, or if they're going to stick with it and just, hope that what has worked so far continues working. But both of these teams have shown they have capability to play the Widowmaker. So if you get, just one single opening pick, whether it's Gala or on the side of Requiem, that could just immediately clinch the rest of the map, for the full duration there. That can immediately snowball into so much distance to begin. We've seen 1 minute go into crazy overtime pushes here, and 3.5 stalling out before they can even get to A. So it's certainly not the end of the world, but the deck is very much stacked against Requiem here.
Yeah, and speaking of, the Widow, Spec Gala, maybe Lucky, goes back to the mirror. The backline in general, they got to play corners. They have to expect, hey, we're going to have a Widow, maybe a Hans will come out. Your head's going to be the first thing they're looking for. You're squished, you're small, especially you're playing, Zen Bap. Bap has ult, has, his jump and Emort. But Zen, if you're sitting still, you're going to get caught out first thing first. So these backlines have to just play their corners when it comes to this first push. Ooh, not bad. He'd only got 2 more, but I mean, School Rush brought it back with the picks. Requiem may have 3 people in the 20 bombs, but I mean, School Rush definitely made it worth their while on their attack to get their numbers up.
Yeah, really excellent chance for them to completely achieve equilibrium between these two teams here. It was really impressive to see them completely come alive in a way that we haven't seen them so far in the series. It's only map 2, of course, but it was really impressive the way they just cracked all the way through points A and B. And then point C, again, there was an attempt. There was a decent hold to be had, but it was still only about, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes off the clock there with that massive time bank. So School of Rush, same thing on the defense here. You've got Grunt still on this Life Weaver, so still ready to get that pull, that pedal platform at all angles here. And Requiem, they're mirroring. All right, so apart from the Zenyatta and the Life Weaver, it's a full mirror composition here. Lucky and Gala are trying to trade for these sight lines here, eating a bunch of damage. Gala has to play a bit more carefully here. As Twisted is hunting in the backline. Banana Shake, the same exact thing on the other side here. Having to watch out for Keed on the Zenyatta can be such a lethal assassin here. Just a volley of those orbs, and that could be the end of your squishier targets here. Banana Shake has to play this a bit more cautiously than perhaps they might otherwise, especially with that Discord orb being laid onto Gala first. Ready with that charge. He's ready to let loose a rail onto somebody's head here, but yeah, Twisted does hit that recall, trying to get out of it, trying to stay safe here as best as possible. Immortality Field burned already for Hobo, so yeah, Gala being found out by Lucky on the flank angle. So Requiem have cracked this one pretty much wide open at this point, and we are down to the final seconds here. This is exactly the chance they need to make this work here. Ults are not online just yet on the defense. Amigo's gonna be the first one to build up to it here, but Lucky taking Banana Shake out. That's 2 kills for the Sojourn player. That should be enough to earn them point A.
Yeah, and smart by School Rush to back up and try to regroup, because I mean, you go for this fight here and you lose it. That is so much space and so much freedom to go at some point. So first, the right thing, the kite. Yeah, look at ults here. It's about even. I mean, School Rush may have some baskers. Oh, coming out early by Amigo gets nobody. Not the best, but Hobo still goes down. So they got some value out of someone else. So still worth the while. Yeah, again, you're up 1. I mean, Gala's just playing back, trying to get something to work, and it's just going to get chased down. It's going to get chased down. And Shake finally gets a pick. They're like really early. Lucky can get something with this OC. Fight.
Yeah, Lucky has been so lethal so far here. Overclock, unfortunately, not able to get a ton of value for it as they're rolling forward onto the objective here. And despite not having Gala, the rest of School of Rush is still holding strong in this defense. This looks like it might finally be the chance. Twisted lets loose with the pulse bomb, but no one goes down. Keed has the Transcendence ready, and that accretion just dumpsters Twisted there. Grunt gets the finishing blow, Banana Shake cleaning up as well. It looks like the push for Requiem is going to stop here, despite the Doomfist shenanigans by Amigo. That is going to be it. Certainly more than you might expect for a single minute in the time bank, but still plenty doable for School of Rush.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that second point there with Lucky with OC. Lucky had Grunt down to like 1 HP and then like peeled from him, and then you saw the pulse bomb come out onto Fish, and Fish got gripped by Grunt. So that could have gone so much differently if Lucky just committed to getting the pick. I get there's a lot happening, and a slight moment like that, completely understandable. A lot of pressure. Things go wrong. Things happen. It's normal. But as a spectator point of view, caster point of view, it definitely led a domino events that did not help your favor. So that may come back to bite them if School Rush can play this quick and make it worth their while. But if Requiem wins it, it's not going to matter. If Requiem stops before, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But if School Rush makes it close and they get it, it could have been the deciding factor.
Yeah, certainly a Spectre that could potentially hang over them, but no change in the composition so far. Gala's going to be rolling out on that Widowmaker. So again, just a single pick could be enough to crack point A wide open. And we saw not a massive amount of distance gained in point B for Requiem's offense here. So they have to play it very carefully, very cautiously, aware that Gala is there on that Widow. And they're very aware of it now at this point. Amigo's there with that shield. Having that Zenyatta able to, sort of get you just a little bit of trickle healing over time, especially valuable on the massive health pool that Amigo is rocking with here on the Sigma. Not a bunch of damage, not a bunch of work being able to do here, but with the Widowmaker coming through from Gala, yeah, they're just having to play so scared, so cautiously around this shield, and unfortunately, doesn't manage to get the kill there. Lucky does get a pick onto Hobo. That is going to be enough to break this one open. Oh, we're starting to feel a little bit of nerves here from Gala. Lucky assassinates. That is brutal scenes. The headshot kill with the railgun shot onto Gala. That first attempt is dumpstered fully here as Gala, they decide to swip over to the Genji coming in for this next attack.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky, props to him. That was a great flank, great pick to get there. And you've wasted a minute of their time. They haven't time. A minute's already gone. And they're not even halfway through the first point. So, Requiem right now playing great. Danishik does get the first entry pick, so Requiem could get, oh no, they're down the Zen, and it's not looking like they're going to live this much longer.
Now, Twisted losing that duel, unfortunately, quickly in that fight does just spell the sign of defeat for Requiem here. There's going to be just a little bit of time while they wait for that gate to open, of course, going into point B, but with 2 minutes still on the clock, this is several fights that they're going to have to hold here on the defense. Requiem only have Keed's Transcendence ready to go. Lucky's about to have an overclock of their own, but that is all. Meanwhile, School of Rush, they're about to build up towards several ultimates of their own coming into this fight.
Yeah, and this is the last fight. Ooh, Twisted gets a great early pick. May stay a little bit longer. Hobo looking low. Grunt also looking really low. And they're just kind of playing their point. And Twisted is just trying to get something going in the back line. I can see Immort comes out. Great pick. Davis goes down. Twisted goes down, unfortunately. Wow. And pulse up. Okay, Transit comes out. Not a bad. Pulse bomb got some value. Got some good value out of it. A minute left now for School of Rush, and you have 4 ults. On the other side, Requiem will only have 3, but Blade, there's nothing they can do to stop any of these ults. Flug's gonna do so much damage. Tree's gonna do so much overhealth. Window's gonna do so much damage. Blade's gonna come out and do so much damage. If you're Requiem here, you gotta just play your own life.
Yeah, Gala's Blades have been devastating all series long, and this one is likely to be no exception to it. Just immediately assassinating both members of the backline. Nothing nothing they could do but look on in terror as the Nightmare Nerf Blade comes directly down to claim them and send them to the hereafter. Twisted and Amigo combine to take out the rest of the members. Banana Shake does manage to get a kill onto Amigo, but that is going to be faint praise indeed, as you do have this nice duel happening here between the Tracers and all that is coming forwards here from School of Rush. They're just rolling directly on top of the objective, and that is going to be it. They're going to claim the map and tie the series at 1-1. Irrelevant, I think we might have a potential 7-map banger on our hands.
We will have a great series. I mean, props to Twisted, they're doing their best to stay alive. Too bad the spawn room was not in their favor, which kind of sucks. Yes, advantage is a thing. I agree with it. I mean, faster spawn rate, that's got to be a thing, right? But back to the overtime with Lucky. I do possibly think if they got rid of Lifeweaver, got rid of Grunt, the domino effect would have been in their favor. Instead, it went the other way. So, no hair on it. Still early, only second map of best of 7. I mean, still anyone's game. But it could, for me, that will be a notch that I will look at and think of. Just to keep in mind. I mean, again, anyone's game. Requiem gets next map pick. But that could have gone so much differently.
Yeah, could certainly be an inflection point in the series there. Just missing those split-second decisions, those potential choices, potential follows up, might have been the thing to keep them into it, or it might have just been one drop in the bucket, not too much in the grand scheme of things. So, but yeah, if this does not go their way, and if this continues snowballing out of control, Requiem might be kicking themselves for that just last-minute offense. They're not able to get as much as they wanted out of it. But an excellent, hold coming through. They still brought, that time bank that School of Rush had all the way down to the final remaining seconds of it. So certainly well done. Those early picks, Lucky in overtime, was very much that, was very much devastating with those picks, with those early kills coming out on the side of Requiem there. So there is no... None of these teams should be holding their head low after this particular map here. They are both looking excellent. We've gotten to see such beautiful looks from both of them so far that I'm really excited to see exactly, who takes it to who going forward. If this is going to be back and forth, or if this is going to be School of Rush. They've now finally found their footing after a bit of a slow map 1, and if they want to take the reins here, Requiem's going to have to be the ones to stop them.
Yeah, and I mean, next coming up is Push or Flash. Of course, you won't know until they pick. But, I mean, you don't one Lucio ban is gone one team, right? So, I mean, Lucio can come back out, be great. But yeah, we look at this. If you're Requiem, if they choose to pick the map, they're probably going to pick Flashpoint. They are so much better on them in a sense of just numbers. But hey, anything's possible. It's not too bad on the push side, but I would go Flashpoint if I was Requiem, just to get a home advantage. You know how to play it, and it should be a map winning favor. Oh, they gave it up then. Okay, or am I just understanding? Okay, yeah. So Rec now gets first ban, with School Rush going to pick. So this now works in their favor. On the last map, they're able to now just take home court advantage, technically. But these bans. What's your thing? What do you think they're going to pick here, Requiem, as their first ban?
I mean, honestly, with the way that Rush has been playing, it's just been so varied so far. Obviously, the Sigma pick is not going to do nearly as well here, but never mind. They go with the Orisa right out the gate there. Could easily be a tank protection ban if they're trying to, bring underscore back in on that ball, or if they just want to run something like the Queen or the Malga, anything else that might get so trashed by an Orisa. But certainly having that protection ban, and the ban coming through from Kiriko from School of Rush. Honestly, a little bit surprising. I would usually associate them, both the Lucio and the Kiriko, their bans in the last 2 maps are heroes I would more associate with their backline. So clearly they've got a different game plan coming in.
School Rush might be going the JQ route. Very possible. Requiem may. I mean, Orisa ban, that could be so many heroes you could play around that. Again, if they play ball, which is probable. If Orisa comes back in, very probable. But on this side of things, with the Kiri ban, there's only so much that can be raced around it. That means you're going to run maybe an Ana Lucio backline, and you want to keep that. Maybe run JQ, that way you have to worry about it cleanse in general. there's so many things that could go with that. Maybe run a hog tank to just not worry about him. Well, I guess someone help you, but I mean, it could be JQ Rush with on a backline with Lucio. Eric on the other side, if Iron come back in, we expect ball. If not, it could be Czar or something like that. So you don't necessarily know, because both these bands don't affect each other's team styles. It's more of, we don't want to face this for ourselves. So I'm excited to see how they use this to their advantage. And I just want to see if they have a mirrored comp or how much different it'll be between each other. I've seen on Blizzard World, they're complete different comp styles. I want to see the same again because I like seeing two different versions go against each other and see how they duke it out. Similar comps are also great. Those come down to who's better with who, which team can do what first. Different comp styles, I think, are so much better to watch.
Yeah, completely agreed. And I'm expecting that we're going to get a little bit of that coming in here. I mean, if both teams rolled out on Sigma, that would kind of be insane. That is not at all what we expect coming into a map like New Junk City, despite still having Junk in the name there. So yeah, it's got to be some flavor of Rush you have to imagine here. Whether that is Queen, whether that is Malga, whether it's Ram even, honestly. Because Orisa just plays spoiler, as you were saying, to so many of these other heroes in those archetypes, of those other tanks especially. So that really does level the playing field and clear things up for the tanks of Requiem to kind of go nuts with whatever they want to without any massive counters to it. Orisa is really the true counter tank for a lot of things here. But yeah, with the different picks we saw out of Fish on Blizzard World, I'm not exactly certain where they want to go apart from Sigma, which would, again, not at all be expected coming into this. But yeah, so whether it's the Diva maybe, because we saw a good bit of that coming through on the offense. It's not obviously ideal, but if you're more worried about, all that backline harassment and, protecting from, the predations had by either Banana Shake or Twisted on those tracers, that's something you could be worried about. But yeah, it's going to be some flavor of Rush is what it has to be. But they're just going to come out and, show us a different look from what we were speculating on, if last map is anything to go by.
Always. That's how it always goes. There's always something up their sleeves. But yeah, like you said, everything could know how they play. I think if Fish is still out there, maybe plays Ramacha into this. I mean, very possible. Without that, just maybe Nano, like I said, the Ana, but you never know. With this type of map, anything that's Brawl or Rush is fair game. You can make it work on any points of these, any of these flash points. Any Rush or Brawl tank can work. Poke shouldn't work at all. I've seen it forced, and surprisingly, it has worked and come out on top. In this type of scenario and situation, I don't believe there'll be any type of Poke comp styles. Maybe the only thing would be the Ana, but that's about it. So it's just taken either something's happened or they're taking a long time to load in. I really want to see what happens. I'm starting around things to say. But yeah, with this, the Kiri Rush, I think without Kiri there, definitely gets rid of Cleanse. Maybe they run in Pulse Bomb. Maybe they run Alari backline just to save that. On the other side, if Rush comes back in, we expect ball. But DPS wise, that's right now the real battle. When it comes to support line, both support lines doing the job. They get caught out when they get caught out, but they're being consistent. Tank wise, it's been, as you've seen, Blizzard World went in Underscore's favor, and Requiem on the other side went in Fish's favor for School Rush. So tanks can go either way. DPS right now, it is a battle. Who gets what done first? Who gets the first pick? Who gets cut out first? Who gets the first ult? And it's neck and neck there. I mean, whoever makes that first stake on the DPS line is going to be the most costly mistake. Support, it happens. You're going to get caught out. Your other support can usually make up that ground for it. DPS knows to make up the ground for it. But when you're running, I've seen Tracer, Soj, those are two very different characters. You have one up close personal kind of spray damage and tear away. One's long distance could be one shot, two headshot shot. You lose one, you lose the long range. The short range can do something, but it ain't gonna be enough to counter that weight. So the DPS just gotta, as teammates, they have to be cohesive and understand how they play together.
Without doubt. All right, folks, we are finally diving into our third map of the series here, chosen by School of Rush. We are here on New Junk City. certainly the one Flashpoint map that favors them massively in terms of their previous map stats. Of course, that largely that's in the past. We don't know. Coming into this series, they might have a different game plan entirely here, but yeah, both of the other Flashpoint maps, both Atlas and Suravasa, favor Requiem. School of Rush, however, 3-0 on this map so far this season. So not at all surprising for them to bring us here, of all places, with as comfy as they look, you know, over the course of the season so far. And we're looking at both Ramatra compositions outside, but apart from that, yeah, backline also the same so far. Some Lucio BAP makes a lot of sense. Both these teams, you need that speed, you need the burst potential that a BAP can certainly give to you here, but the DPS lines, Venture for both, and Twisted still on the Tracer. Gala is now on the Cassidy, a perfect counter, in theory, to that Tracer here. So we'll see exactly how Amigo and Fish want to dance around their shields here. First, Nemesis form being popped for Amigo, and then Fish, or rather the opposite mode. Switch that one around real quick. As Amigo falls dangerously low, has to be a bit more careful, playing around these new wider doorways, of course, everybody, as was changed just a few weeks ago here on New Junk City. Key taking out that early immortality field out from 5s. Still to play a bit more carefully here, being very conscious about all of that damage coming through, and yeah, getting taken down does Keed and Amigo falling down as School of Rush power directly forwards. They're looking pretty comfy here in the driver's seat.
It's weird not to see a banana shake on Tracer. I thought Gala maybe would have went the Venture route or that sort. So seeing a banana shake not on Tracer is going to be surprising. I'll not be surprised we see a swap over time, but it definitely is a shot. But Requiem still got some percentage off during that personal fight, so they have something at least made the fight worthwhile. But we're going to this. I mean, Requiem, who's this so close to bomb already? I mean, 76% of 5s. I mean, it's supposed to win on the other side. Oh, Gala's at 90. Wow. If Gala can get some quick work in, High Noon could come out super early here and at least make some zoning.
Yeah, High Noon ready to roll here as Lucky gets the better of their opposite. Banana Shake taken down. No chance to build up towards that tectonic shock. Twisted drops the pulse bomb, but no benefit to be gained from it whatsoever here. As Twisted boops 5s out of this one here. No chance again to use that window. The barrier, the beat comes through, but unfortunately only 3 members alive on the side of School of Rush to benefit from it. Turns out that might just be enough. The boop is still here, and there are still just enough members of Requiem to make this fight an issue for School of Rush here. However, School of Rush still in control. The flip did come through briefly, but was taken back, and there's going to be one more chance to aggress here for Requiem.
Yeah, and I mean, look at School of Rush. They have 3 ults for sure. Banana Shake's close. Other side, it's gonna be, they're gonna get it during the fight and use this as a good idea. Both windows already early. I mean, it's just, who's gonna peek? Not one really. Wow, Banana Shake just trying to get lucky, keep it out of the ground. It does, and it works in favor.
Yeah, finally going down there. Annihilation ready to roll for Amigo. Does hold on to it for just a few seconds longer than Fish, who is the first one to pop with that Grape Rush coming forward, taking out that immortality field, but everyone on the Requiem is so low, getting ticked down by this Annihilation, rolling for so long here. The first was, in fact, the longest in the situation here. Fish just absolutely suctioning, siphoning the life from the rest of Requiem, and School of Rush taking the first point and look pretty good doing it.
And I mean, they didn't use any DPS ults. Twisted had bomb for the second time and used it again. I mean, to be fair, Twisted did fall, but still didn't really get anything with it. So Twisted's getting fast charge clearly for his ult, so it's doing something. But the ult itself is not connecting as it should be. But School of Rush still has 2 DPS ults here before this, and there's one. I mean, to get some value out of here. Might not. It does go down first. Ooh, dunk trade on support backline. So still even 4-4. Ooh, no support there. Requiem.
Yeah, apart from some damage, just a bit of chip coming through from that tectonic shock out from Banana Shake. Lucky still has theirs ready to rock here on the objective, but losing Amigo does really put a damper on any chance of maintaining point presence here. And yeah, Lucky is still holding on to this ultimate. Does take Banana Shake out yet again. Really putting the screws to their opposite here in this Venture mirror. And despite an early take, Requiem is going to flip the point back into their favor here with just that tectonic shock ready to roll, but really nothing on the side of School of Rush until we get in the middle of this next fight.
Are out? I think might get one. Ow. Does get one. Gala still goes down even with Emor coming out early for him. think Wise is out. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice little team kill they got.
Yeah,
unless
perfect.
somehow Banishake gets one. Banishake got one at least. So not horrible. I mean, still team kill, but you at least got your one. That's all that matters.
Yeah, excellent use of just a single ultimate in that fight. Of course, it's all they had, but never mind that. They're going to build up to a few more coming to this next one. Keyed, Twisted, and Amigo. And Boop's certainly not too far away either. Very clean, very ready to rock with this one. Building up towards 70% already on the objective. So this is really the last chance to really put a good hold in this fight. Banana Shake does take Twisted out, so that is a strong opening salvo from School of Rush. Ready to roll. The window is finally dissipated for that high ground. Banana Shake and Empty still getting so much work done on the objective here. And yeah, that was exactly the fight they needed to keep this one rolling. 93% on the books for Requiem here. School of Rush are now in control.
Yeah, oh wow, Twisted gets caught out kind of early. Seems that way a little longer. I mean, like you said, 93%, so it's not like horrible that you lost him early. You get kind of had to wait, but it kind of slows down your momentum and your fight tempo. So good pick there by School of Rush just to get one out really early. But yeah, you got two ults, might have three. On the other side, you have three. So who get what most out of the value most? I mean, B comes out, Requiem, and then comes out School of Rush. One Annihilation. Window comes out. Both Annihilations are out. Wise is the first one to go down. So down one on the side of School of Rush. You get the straight back though. So no BAP at all in play. And I think it looks like School of Rush is actually going to take this fight. Oh, I lied. Hang on. I think it's 2-on-2 right now.
Yeah, health bar's dwindling down. Boot finally gets taken down behind there. Unfortunately, just not enough staying power for the side of Requiem there. School of Rush, you called it, ended up being the case, despite some kills coming through, seeming to switch it, but unfortunately just not enough there. School of Rush take the second point here on New Junk City, and honestly, they're looking like a team that is 3-0 on this map.
Yeah, and with this coming up, I mean, again, you still have both DPS ults on School of Rush. Another one where it was not being used and you have it ready to go. So School of Rush again has all the advantage here. I mean, Requiem's gonna have both DPS ults. Another cool spot out. That's fine.
Yeah, the early kills coming through. Banana Shake is able to let loose that Tectonic Shock, just absolutely so lethal. Both these Ventures able to layer it down, but Lucky, unfortunately, not gonna get a whole lot done on their own here. Dust gets taken down by Gala. Still on this Cassidy all the way through, ready with the Deadeye. Fives also about to have that window online as well as Requiem coming in with only that Venture ult to their names here. And School of Rush, I mean, again, they're playing from position of power once more.
Yeah, and I mean, School of Rush here, high noon window. Oh, I just got one snooze, two. Will they does not get anything out of it? Almost goes down actually. Gala is the first one out, so Requiem is up one. Window taking high ground is going to be dangerous. That's just so much, yeah, just crowd control being used here. And there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, really no chance for Requiem to get onto the objective while that window is still alive and kicking, doing their best to wrap around, but there's just so much point presence also available to School of Rush here. The beat comes through from Boop. Empty is about to have this online, just manages to get it off. Clutch. Beautiful scenes there, building up to it exactly when they needed it most. But it looks like the kill feed is still all blue here. School of Rush, they don't care. They just able to roll forward on the back of that later beat. And it looks like that is going to be a 3-0 on Flashpoint here. New Junk City, I mean, blink and you miss it. School of Rush clean this one up, go up in the series 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, they knew what they was doing coming into this. I mean, Requiem, maybe they have a better idea when it comes to the map pick later. But they gave up that first ban for the map pick, and School of Rush took advantage of that with this home pick advantage, and I mean 3-0'd on a map that they picked. So expected for a win. I think it was going to be a sweep on that map.
Yeah, that is certainly the dominance, but just that dominant, that powerful was certainly quite impressive here. So well played out from School of Rush. They certainly, we'll see if Requiem might be regretting letting the map pick go to their opponent there, but again, add that one to the list. But folks, we are going to take a brief break here, but do not go anywhere. Map 4 is on the other side of this in just a few moments.
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be, got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it lies. Coffee's cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer sun on quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a worn out track. Yeah, it feels like that, feels like that. Yeah, it feels like that. Na 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 na. Feels like that. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer sun on quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a worn out track. Yeah, it feels like that, feels like that. Yeah, it feels like that. Na 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 na. Feels like that. I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes. And they say if you want to glimpse the future, you need space. And you said you'll put down your morning guns. Would you follow me to wonders? Take my hand and walk beside me in a world of thunder. Fear is an imposter. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not days became weeks, it felt just like the night before. You were slowly fading in my mind. When you left, I was so completely gone, but now I'm sure you were some of the best of things to find. Would you follow me to wonders if you're everything that matters to me? Makes me wonder why I can't get over you. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in. When the sage brings the rite of spring, moaning dove and the sparrows sing, through the light that the sun will bring, reborn. Plots are creeping on the wall, swallowtail heeds the northern call, and the last of the frost will thaw, reborn. In the warmth of the spring, I recall everything once more. Heavy air and the smell of rain, muddy grasses across the plain, red-winged blackbirds soft refrain, reborn.
Welcome back, folks. We are here right in the thick of the match between Requiem and School of Rush here. Grand finals for B League here in BPL Season 7. So excited to continue on this banger. And honestly, despite an early lead from Requiem, School of Rush has been putting on an absolute school themselves on how to continue through this series, playing their own game, exactly what we wanted to see. Maybe just not exactly in the ways we wanted to see it here going forward, and really just making so much control over Junkertown and New Junk City. So we're finally going to move away from Australia for our fourth map in the series over to the climbs of Ilios.
Yeah, I am excited. Bans, we know that Suresh cannot get rid of this. Oh, never mind, they're already in. Cass and Ball. Okay, good ban by Skull Rush to get out Ball, especially on a map like this, especially with Ruins and Lighthouse. Well, is also an issue. There's also a lot of tempted for, just fall off the map themselves. But good ban, Skull Rush. Requiem good of Cass. I don't know how I feel, because Cass was only used once, and that was last map. So they got second ban, so it wasn't even like protection. It was just to throw out there. So it could go in their favor, but I don't know about that ban. It might not be the best one to get out of what they could have went for.
Yeah, we'll certainly see. I mean, having it out of the question does mean that, you're going to have a lot more chance to roam around freely if you're playing your more mobile DPS heroes especially. Boop and Keed, both as the Kiriko and Lucio, would certainly like to avoid any Cassidy predations upon them. So I guess, but I agree, it's not the strongest ban I think you could have gone with. Gala certainly has such a deep pool, especially considering how good they've looked on this Sojourn pick here. With Lucky not mirroring this time, but instead on the Freya. Okay, so this was banned in the very first map of the series on Blizzard World by School of Rush. They did not want to see Lucky on this Freya pick, so we'll see, much vaunted as is. Got to see a little bit of it on Junkertown, but this is a bit more consistent here coming through onto Ilias. So we're on the Lighthouse, loaded fully in. High ground being contested already. You've got Underscore there on that Winston. All right, so this massive dive composition had on the side of Requiem here. Very much, you know, old school with a new coat of paint to it, as Lucky here on Freya, our newest hero in the roster still for a little bit longer now. Fish on this Orisa, of course, is able to put so much control onto all these more mobile members of the team. Twisted is on this Tracer, mirroring Banana Shake on the other side here. So it's exactly what we expect to see coming into this one. Kills happening on either side of the fight here. Both Lucky and Banana Shake putting in a bunch of work onto their opposition as the first take does come through onto School of Rush. Fish able to lock down that objective a lot more effectively than Underscore, unfortunately, on that Winston there. Still flying low, though, gets taken down by Lucky, just launching so many crossbow bolts directly into their face. Yeah, Keed and Lucky teaming up for the final of these kills here. Just a few more percentage points for School of Rush. 20 is all they'll get before Requiem take control.
I definitely like this differential comp. They're both running a bit dive, but when it comes to tank, you have Underscore who's gonna play. They're gonna play these side corridors, coming to the main point. Play left and right, like we saw when we first started fighting. On the other side, School of Rush with Fish. Fish can't really be as mobile to get to a backline to get a tank. You're definitely playing a bit more. We're gonna take point, or we're gonna bunker down on point, and you're gonna have to go through, you know, a very tanky hero instance of health. On the other side, Underscore's going to be jumping around, trying to take whatever angle he can with whoever he can with him. And it's just going to cause immense pressure on the flank.
Yeah, Gala wanted to get to Lucky, but unfortunately Lucky got the better of them in that attempt there. That range, the absolute high ground control that Lucky is able to have, it really feels that once Requiem is set up here on this objective, it is very hard for School of Rush to dislodge them.
Yeah, I do like this mirror, Lucio, this mirror on Tracer. Hopefully Twisted picks it up. Ooh, okay. So that's 0 for 6 in the past 2 maps. Twisted still getting the value, is not connecting with ult. Ult B comes out, both rushes come out. Boop comes out with his own. Handshake is the first one out though, but they did get a flip. So it's possible that I can get connected. And it looks like, yeah, they're just going to take them apart one by one.
Five's trying to play it carefully, but unfortunately not able to do so, just as they get beaten around by Underscore here on this Winston. Primal Rage over the objective, and Twisted finally cleaning up Fish at the very back end of that fight. But that is really all the bright spot to be said for them. They did get a few points of percentage back into their favor there. The point was flipped for just a little while longer. 38% instead of 20 is certainly nicer, and you certainly take away that timer ticking up for Requiem. But School of Rush, they're really coming into this one on the back foot.
Okay, trying to get a pick on that Kiriko. Fives again, just gonna get melted with no cleanse, no DP. Out instantly. Lucky also goes out. So we get a little trade going. Still 4 and 4. Oop. Oh, just beat down empty on his head. Mom comes out, gets one. Blade coming out. I think they'll be able to flip it. They will. So held him down to overtime. Good take back from School of Rush. However, you did use 2 ults there. I think Fish also used their ult, but at the same time, that does their entry. So School of Rush gotta be a little bit more passive here. They can be aggressive with these picks, but when it comes to these ults, Requiem's gonna have it on. I mean, yeah, Lucky's definitely looking
pretty comfortable coming into this fight here. 99%, they certainly are in the driver's seat. They've got both their DPS ultimates. Lucky wants to let loose this bola shot to lock up as many members as possible. Has to watch out for that spear spin out from Fish. Fives just immediately getting taken down. The clear dive target at the very start of all of these fights here. And yep, that spin is exactly the thing to take that bola shot off the board. No chance for Lucky to get any value from that ultimate whatsoever. He does get a kill here. Gala falling down, but School of Rush, it looks as though they're the ones who are going to be falling forward one at a time, one by one as they go down. The Kitsune Rush into the objective, just the final golden path of victory here for Lighthouse. There's going to be a faint touch here by Banana Shake. Does have that pulse bomb and enabled the overtime to finally start ticking over for them. School of Rush, they are here, but they're close to their health. Yeah, not gonna happen. The pulse bomb comes out, no benefit whatsoever as School of Rush unfortunately fall down before Requiem here taking control of the first round of Ilios.
Yeah, so I mean, good first start for Requiem there. I mean, underscore again, just playing, you know, flanks and getting away with it, going around left and right, just jumping around them, being, you know, they're looking at him, and it's given his DPS the chance to make use of that. Skill Rush again, I think it's they have different ideas of targets. Okay, I'm not gonna look at chat. I just keep popping up. I don't even want to entertain that. But it's working. Underscore is doing his job, which is just to just be the main focal point, and Skill Rush is looking at him, but they're not getting no value out of it because the DPS on the other side are just making so much room and so much use of it. Skill Rush doesn't have anything to answer back with.
Yeah, Requiem here are still rocking this Winston composition. Underscore, they're looking comfortable and they don't see any reason to swap it up just yet, but Fish here on the Ramatra, certainly a pick we've been expecting from them as longer the series goes on. Banana Shake and Twisted are looking to mirror each other on this Tracer pick, trying to play Bringer around the well here. And who is going to be the first one to fall into the drink is my question, of course, always, anytime we come to this sub-map here. And you've got Fish looking for someone to punch, unfortunately, as everyone from Requiem just looks a bit slippery here, heads for the hills, but Underscore diving on the objective gets taken down. Rail shot by Gala. Lucky there does complete 2 kills of their own final blows coming through. Yeah, that's going to be some ult charge deliciously in the pocket of Lucky. And yeah, has that bonus shot ready to go. 15, 16, 17%. Looks like that's going to be all they get for School of Rush here. Requiem, yeah, they bent a little bit, but they did not break here, and they sustained control of the objective.
I mean, that was just great. Your tank went on Requiem's side. Your tank went down first, but y'all kind of bunkered up, and y'all all just picked, hey, we're going to dive this corner of the map, and just ran it down. Got 3 picks after the tank was dead, and they had no response. So again, you're just gonna play a little bit of containment here. They have to come to you. You don't have to really rush their spawn. But it's gonna be they're gonna be able to call them out. I mean, yeah, Keed was so low. I'm getting caught out. Bowler doesn't come out, gets nobody. Empties go trade a DPS on support line. No supports for School Rush now, but it's still an even 3-on-3. Booth with a great pick. I mean, that's. Also comes out on the tank, does not get anything. Oh my god. Twisted must have heard me earlier about what I said. Is now hitting pulse bombs like there's no tomorrow, and managed to hit the only character that's actually should be able to get out of that without like being tracked. So great pulse there by Twisted. Pulls out Banana Shake's pulse bomb, which got stunned by on tank, but not enough to totally eliminate him. So a lot of percentage here gained. Requiem coming up with Primal. There's like 3 ults. Skill Rush only coming up also on 3 5s, maybe close enough to rush, but it's kind of lacking. On that side.
Underscore ready to dive directly onto all of these squishy targets here. Bundled up in a small room, exactly where a Primal Raging Winston wants to see the opponent here. Key does get an early kill onto Banana Shake, not able to harass that backline any further, certainly not from spawn there. It's Key who's just laying these kunai down over the entirety of the team. Just no chance for anyone to breathe, and no need at all for the Primal Rush, it turns out. Requiem, I mean, we are now in the final seconds of this sub-map here, and final seconds of the map potentially too, as there is a touch coming through from School of Rush. The Banana Shake does get toes on the objective, but it looks like that's gonna be it, as Lucky gets an immediate kill there. Requiem have been undeniable here on Ilios, despite the beat coming through to speed them onto the objective. It's just not anywhere near enough. And again, another lightning quick map here. Requiem even up the series 2-2. I mean, I don't feel like we're gonna be done with this one anytime soon.
No, I mean 2-2, and so far everyone that's winning has picked their map. First ban has not been nothing. Map pick has mattered. And again, Key great, just throwing kunais downtown. I mean, the School of Rush here, I assume they're gonna want to take. It'll have to be a push map. So they're gonna have to pick their poison because there's only one of them that they're decent at, while Requiem just has all 3 locked down, ready to go. So School Rush has a big decision of, we got to pick the one that we are comfortable as a team playing within. Because no matter what, Requiem's good with all of them, all 3. School Rush has to decide which one do we want to deal with the most. Which one are we scared of the most? We have less time and practice on the scrimmage. But going to, I mean, Requiem showing out here. They're showing it still. Hey, we were the 7th seed, come from, playing round 2. Beat some top teams on the way here. And they're here to show out. School Rush here, of course, trying to get the revenge back for getting knocked down early. It's still anyone's ball game. I mean, 2-2, best of 7. I'm saying this now. It's going to go to Game 7. There's no way it's not going to Game 7. I think it's going to Game 7.
Yeah, it would, for that not to happen, it would take, of course, someone winning someone else's map pick, and as we've seen so far in the series, that is not very likely. These teams know exactly how and what they want to run on the maps of their choosing here. So, of course, it was, Requiem got to do the very first map in the series, so any chance that they have to continue this lead is certainly much to their favor. But looking at what we have coming up next here, I mean, this is very much, I'm excited to see where School of Rush want to take us here on this push and flashpoint. The order was decided coming into this, so we're sort of like mirroring out further here. So we've got to this control, and we're sort of flexing back to different map types we've already seen so far. Suravasa coming through. All right, so yeah, School of Rush, again, as we mentioned, of the flashpoint maps, New Junk City was kind of the only one they really looked dominant on. As far as Suravasa, that usually is Requiem's playground here, so we'll see how well this goes for them. This is really them being put to the test here on a map they are not, don't have a great track record on at the very least.
Yeah, outside of these bans, because again, depending what tank goes out, if underscore still in, you can't get rid of ball now. Ball is off your list. Same with Lucio, same with Kiriko. I mean, those are 3, depending on who's on the other side, pretty good bans for these type of maps. So I know Requiem gets first pick, but I think going to this, Requiem showed out these past, maps. Genji. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad, especially if Gala's going to run it. School Rush side, I think they have to go with a support ban here. I don't think tank is their main worry right now.
Yeah, I love the ban coming out from Requiem here onto the Genji. Gala's just been so lethal on it, especially on these flashpoint maps. The amount of collapse potential and just the blades that we've seen so far from Gala, you want to get that Genji out of any chance here. As often as you're going to see them here, you obviously cannot ban the Lucio Kiriko, that sort of core of that composition that you'll see alongside either a Tracer or a Sojourn with that Genji. So getting that final piece of that roster out of Gala's hands, out of School of Rush's potential, it certainly opens up a lot more flexibility for your backline. You can play some of these more vulnerable heroes. Certainly, you're still going to have to worry about Tracer, but you always are going to have to worry about that Tracer. And you have one of your own, and usually you've got Banana Shake and Twisted able to sort of mark each other throughout so much of these maps. So I completely agree. I think a support ban would be to the benefit of School of Rush here. Tank-wise, there's not much more you can do. If it's going to be ball, it's going to be ball. There's nothing more you can do about that. So no sense in pushing them further into those waiting arms.
I think School Rush here has to bite the bullet. I know we saw when they were on, in Junk City, they ran, Lucio Mirror or Lucio at Mirror. I know Kiriko's still on the board, so Lucio Kiri is probably going to be the support back line. I mean, Bat would be your next best available for support. You just have to bite the bullet and just go with it. If you're looking for a tank ban, potentially, it's going to be Ramatra or Orisa. Those are the top 2 for tanks. But support-wise, there's not much really can go off. I mean, Briggs also there, but I feel like Bap has just shown like his value is so much more significant. I know they've used him too, but it's just one of those things like you gotta bite that bullet and just deal with it.
Yeah, without question. And Fish honestly looked pretty comfortable on that Ramatra pick, but we've seen them flex to a few different options here. So getting that ban out might not be a bad idea. Banning the Winston. All right. So they saw what happened in the previous map on Ilios, and they really do not want to face that Winston dive yet again. I mean, here's the thing. I would say I'd be surprised to see Winston on this map, but these teams, if they're on a hot streak, if they're really feeling good with the composition, they do sometimes tend to just keep rolling with what's been working for them. So maybe that is a good ban. Maybe, you know, if Requiem's feeling hot on a composition, you want to get the main linchpin of that out of their hands.
Yeah, and if it's how it's been, and whoever has picked the map is winning, you know, whoever picks maps has won. If that is the current trend, this would give School of Rush the match point for next map. If it's the same current trend, if things change, which is anything can happen, no matter what, this goes into match point. So whoever wins this has the momentum and morale of, hey, this next map is our final map of the season that we can secure the grand finals and be the champions of B League. So going into this, morale is high. I also assume the jitters and anxiety is high. You want to win as a team. You're all grouped up, so excited. At the same time, I won't be surprised if there's more mistakes going into these last couple of maps, just because you don't want to be, oh, that's my bad. Oh, I did this wrong and it caused this issue, caused this effect. Or you don't want to be the type of, oh, we should have done this, should have, rather than just focus on the current situation, work with what you know, continue what you've been doing, and just keep it going. If you overthink it too much, it's gonna get in your head, and then you're gonna completely forget about what you're even trying to do. You're too focused on yourself. Look more on how do we punish them, not so much what do I do not to punish myself.
Yeah, maintaining mental game in these very long, very high-pressure series is absolutely crucial here. As you say, whoever wins this goes up to match point, grand finals point. So all of it is riding on this particular map here. And we've also seen, you know, on occasion where teams go up in the final one and they get a little bit complacent, get a little bit too comfy. Like, all right, we just need to win one more and we're good. And that could take us to another 3-3 situation, in which case that would put us all the way to 7 maps. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. These teams have been really... They've been delivering so far. You know, they've been going blow for blow against each other here. So I would not at all be surprised. And you always love to see it. You really do. Suravasa finally loading in here. And yeah, really kind of forced into this on the side of School of Rush here. They really feel like they could have gone with a push pick, but they decided to stick with Suravasa. They really felt, I mean, they were lights out the dominant pick on New Junk City. There was not even a contest. Barely any percentage gained on any of the points for Requiem here. So if you just maintain the same sort of playstyle, same notion, it's the same map type is Flashpoint here. So you just keep with it. Honestly, School of Rush might have the exact same game plan, the exact same manner. And yeah, we're looking at this venture out from Banana Shake. I like to see that, honestly.
Yeah, and see Underscore come back. Oh, we're really close to this pigeon, actually. And Underscore come back on ball. I mean, as we assumed, but definitely different from what we saw earlier. It's a different take this time on Flashpoint. And I have update. Currently, guys is now up 2-0 on the other side of things right now for the A-League area. So just a little update for y'all, for who are your team streaker both, or just watching this one. Good guys up 2-0. It's first to 3. So good guys up. But if we get the next one, Underscore already on their own playing against the whole team. It does not wait.
Not at all. Gala back here on the Cassidy now that is no longer off the field, still ready to launch those candy cane laced bullets directly in the opposition here. Underscore playing as careful as we've expected them to be so far, just absolutely dropping, head over Tea Kettle directly onto the back line, but Banana Shake does take them out. But that being said, Empty's already gone down on the side of School of Rush here. Now, still having their tank in the fight is a massive boon to School of Rush, but of course, Requiem are not counting on having their tank around them at all times in these fights. That is the joy of Wrecking Ball. You just never know where your teammate is going to be at any given time here. First take does come through for School of Rush, but Boop gets the kills. One of them is just a little bit of bump on the noggin there for Fives falling down as well. And Underscore is back in so fast into these fights here. 22% is a lot on a Flashpoint, but it's all they're going to get for now.
Lucky already has bullet shot. I will not be surprised if they just let this fly as soon as they get. As soon as they get someone in their line of sights and think, yeah, we can make this work, it's going to be a fly. But, I mean, School Rush, it comes to all, it's a bit even, of course, still early. But yeah, like, it's 20%. Mostly fine isn't bad, but I mean, no 10th fight and they're already up to 40% on this, I think. Requiem kind of just taking control. If you're a School Rush here, you gotta take your main objective here is the game, but I mean, Oh my god.
Lucky assassinates Banana Shake from the high ground there. Gala does get the kill on to boot, but gets taken down in equal measure there. Twisted lands the pulse bomb onto Empty. That is no speed, no backline support left. Only 5s to keep that tank alive, and Fish is beating a hasty retreat back to the spawn doors there. School of Rush are quick. They might have one last chance. Yeah, and they're bundled up here all together, which is exactly where Underscore wants to see them. They have one last chance to take Market here, this central objective. But are they going to get a chance to touch the objective here with Underscore rolling all the way around them? And yet they finally do get bodies on the point there. A little boop up there. Gala does dive directly onto it, but also eats a bit of a crossbow bolt to the head. So no benefit, no chance to get that Deadeye rolling. Underscore about to have that minefield. Lucky falling down, though, early in this fight. The beat ready to roll for Boop. Carries on after Empty let loose with his as well. Heat falling down, though, as Fish still has this Annihilation ready to go. Ultimates on both sides of this fight ready to be let loose. Underscore still holding on to this minefield here, as that Annihilation runs out pretty quickly for Fish. Everyone else from Requiem beat the hasty retreat, falls back quick, smart as you please. The minefield finally of the objective. This is exactly what Requiem wants to see, and just send the members of School of Rush into those mines. That's it. Curtains for the first round.
Underscore just lined up Fish. You saw for that. You saw Fish turn around, look at the mines, turn back at Underscore. Underscore just swung around and knocked him into it anyways. Fish had nothing. All you could do was sit there and watch. It's like watching Looney Tunes right there. Oh my god, that was great. Did you see Stage for Banana Shake on Sombra? We saw it. It worked in Blizzard World. It didn't win it, but Sombra did work against Underscore. Oh, a great first time Twisted. That was gonna be insane against Twisted right now.
Yeah, they'd be so afraid of Gala rolling forward with this Peacekeeper. So devastating with these shots. And that is going to be more than enough to buy them the space necessary to take that first tap on to the gardens here. And Banana Shake ready to try and mark up Underscore as much as possible here. Twisted and Lucky are still rolling through with these ultimates coming in this next fight. Keed also going to have the rush.
Just looking for pulse bomb. Sin up here with Keed. Oh, he wanted it. He wanted it together. I get anybody with high noon. Pulse bomb comes out. It's 1. That's 2 for Twisted. Can Twisted make it 3? I count that as 3. I was gonna frame count that, I think. But I mean, still not bad. Screwish had up to 50%. Requiem, again, as we saw, will probably get up to 30-some% before Screwish even comes back to, contain him. So Requiem here, they have bullet shot. Screwish coming up on EMP. EMP's probably safe for mines, which is also close. The closer. I mean, it's still anyone's game. Lucky can get a nice pull shot. Yep, there's one. I was past. That's what I thought it'd be.
Yeah, massive bullet shot cleans up the team, and a couple kills do come through. 3 kills at the end of the day for School of Rush here. Fish is still alive, and there's not much that Requiem can do to dislodge him without some assistance here, but it is just Lucky and Underscore alive on the objective here. So School of Rush, they certainly have a chance to aggress on to the point here. This is not over by any stretch of the imagination here. They certainly could take an easy EMP angle, especially with Banana Shake so uncontested here. Minefield comes through and immediately canceled out by EMP. Perfect combo move played there. Underscore falling down as Lucky. There's trades happening on either side of the fight here as Twisted and Lucky both combining for massive damage, but unfortunately without their tank, there's not a whole lot for them to orbit around here, and School of Rush will take back control, and not a moment too soon.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Banana Shake messed up in TP. He gets the pick. And I mean, Requiem's back. At least he comes out, but I mean, that was a great pick there by Keed, and just gave him back their space. He almost runs out, now he did not run up to the amount of eject.
Yeah, Lucky does get a bullet shot kill and a regular on to Empty, and Fi's backline completely obliterated by that Freya player. Can see exactly why School of Rush wanted to ban Freya the first map of the series here. Lucky has been dominant, being able to play around all these corners, all this chance to just drop onto a high ground light as a feather here. And Requiem will go up 2-0, a complete mirror of what we saw on New Junk City.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, complete mirror opposite, but I mean, that was a bit closer. So it does still show School of Rush is here to still play. They're here being competitive. Like when we were in New York City, they swept them all every other time. It was close 9-0, very low percentage differential. School of Rush still has all the tank. They have a lot they want to still show. They got to make good use of it though. I mean, Requiem's just kind of showing out, getting their picks, and domino effect. Rush will get their picks, will get their get backs, but it's never enough. Like Twisted already got one, they get their get back again, and Twisted gets the stick, and just like that, your get back doesn't exist.
Yeah, Gala swapped over to the Sojourn here, about to build up towards that overclock, but unfortunately from spawn, it's not going to do a whole lot of good here. A beat comes through from Empty. Does lay onto only 3 members of the team alive on the objective here, but that is enough to get 2 kills. Keed and Lucky both falling prey, but that minefield without a EMP to answer it is going to keep School of Rush firmly away from the objective here for just a few seconds longer. Underscore falls low, gonna get taken down by Gala there. So much damage coming through, finally unable to hold on to that overclock, has to be said, so they'll be able to use that one to stop the approach from Requiem.
Yeah, Steven has shake the tracer, you know, different DPS setup is nice, but now it does show there's not much counters here. You're gonna have your tracer one-on-one again, but Gala now has to just kind of be aware, like, they have to put out the damage output and get the fourth out of it. They can't just be, we're gonna stop the tracer. You gotta start getting some good value. Oh no!
Oh, that is a horrible misclick. Certainly
unlucky there.
Did not mean to place it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that is not at all what you want to see. Yeah, Twisted is still able to enter there. A bit of a zoning bowl shot, really sort of threatening, waving the stick around up in head. And Lucky, if in answer to it, seemingly, is able to get 2 kills in the back out of that fight. Bitch commits the annihilation. I might have saved that one there, but yes, hopefully going for a swap, or that was just a very poorly timed ultimate.
I hope it's a swap. Oh, it just...
Nope.
Two big misclicks coming from both sides. There was definitely a bigger misclick. Hold on, goes out again. Oh my god, has not missed since. I think it's 4 for 4 now. Faster now. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
certainly
mean,
very much bearing the fruits of this high pressure, high anxiety situation here. Couple misclicks of ultimates, but unfortunately School of Rush are very much on the losing end of that trade there, and with that, a bit closer certainly than New Junk City, but still 3-0. Requiem will take the map and put themselves at series point here in our grand finals.
I mean, we finally got our first non-map related win, so different change. But Requiem at an all-time high. I mean, 7th seed, you just took, you know, the game, about to go to match point in your favor, and in your mind, it's one more map. It's simple as that. Mental game is, it's just one more map, and then you're champions. School Rush side is, hey, it's one more map. It's now or never, right? So School Rush has a lot more mental game to go through, mental obstacles. Requiem just has to stay composed. This is a really good adrenaline rush, don't get me wrong, every same way. But don't let it get to your head. Just because you beat them at a map they picked, go to match point, it's great. It may not be the same outcome this next map. It could be the complete opposite, right? As we saw from Blizzard World to Junkertown. Blizzard World, they were stomping them, right? Just walking them down every point. Junkertown's complete opposite. They were getting walked down, could not make any space or time for themselves. Anything happen. I mean, Control's up next. I hope it's Lijiang Tower, just because I love Lijiang Tower. I mean, it might, because I think it's still School of Rush's picks. They lost, and on their side, it might be a Nepal, but by percentage, it's a bit better, and you might have a better chance of knowing what you're doing. Yep, perfect, Nepal. But going into bans, there's not much more you can pick from that goes in your favor. What are your thoughts on these like could potentially be your last ban? Like, what would you pick here?
I mean, at this point, you really just want to get something out of their hands. That I think the Baptiste ban is still very much, you know, in the cards. I think if you want to go insane, if you want to be potential Chaos Lord here, ban Tracer. Just the pulse bombs with this way that Twisted has been able to come back online here. I think that the trend, the arc of this is sort of favoring them, but yeah, the Baptiste is the safer ban of those two, a little bit less insane, a little bit more reasonable to pick, and you can certainly work around that. That Lucio Kiriko serves them very well throughout the entire time here, but Requiem, they're not really bound, or no, sorry, Requiem went for that ban, so that is more in line with what we're looking for here. Yeah, that really keeps open a lot of their, stranger picks, a lot of their less common choices of support here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're School Rush, like you said, Tracer Bam, you gotta bite the bullet. Twisted's been online finally after 2 matches being 0-6, 0-5 on pull sticks to being 6-0, 5-0 on pull sticks to flip the script. That is your best bet, especially when the past map you didn't even run Tracer till like the very, very end. It's not a huge loss if you don't run Tracer. I know this map is a bit more Tracer oriented because it's a bit small room, a bit small area, but you just gotta bite that bullet and just not let Twisted get that advantage. That is
any chance for them to sort of stem the bleeding at some point here, because all the balls are very much in Requiem's court in this stage of the match here. So School of Rush need to find something. You need to throw a wrench into the works of Requiem here, and I think a Tracer ban might be just the thing. It might hurt you a little bit, but I think it'll hurt Requiem more, and that is all you can honestly hope for with a ban this stage. When we've had so many bans already, each team has already banned 5 heroes each, with no overlap between them. Like, they all have a clear indication that they want to run opposite, of what the other team is running here.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this, Requiem, I think they don't swap tank here, just because of what type of map it is. I think the more dive comp would be a bit better, just because it also could be the last map, and you want more of that. You want that more Amigo, Ramatra, and Sigma on your payload map. So I think Underscore is going to stay in. At least he should. But Skrush, you gotta play all out. Every trick up your sleeve has to come out now just to guarantee Game 7 tiebreaker, no matter what. So yeah, going to this again, Requiem all-time high within adrenaline and morale. Mental game is be calm, another map. Yeah, perfect. There's Tracer ban. Good bans by both sides. Requiem, of course, is just there because that was a decent ban that could affect their side depending on who they pick. And the Tracer ban makes the most sense. You bit the bullet. That knocks Twisted out. Not entirely, but definitely knocks them down a bit on their ability to play as a DPS.
Yeah, still plenty of room to see some Venture. Without Tracer here, Venture could still do very well in terms of disrupting your backline in a lot of, like you're talking about, these close, small rooms that so many of all 3 points of Nepal have to deal with here. And you could really just do so much disruption with a good bit of environmental potential, especially as we get into Sanctum. On Nepal here. So certainly it's something you have to be conscious of and aware of, but without that Tracer, that is a little bit of breathing room. You've sort of taken a few toes off the gas, not the whole foot. You still have to be very careful for here. The anxiety's got to be pretty high on the side of School of Rush, and that can, sometimes spawn greatness. You can pull out when you're desperate and, back against the wall like this, that could, engender greatness from you, or it could lead to mistakes and missteps. So we really want to see Requiem needs to capitalize on any misstep that School of Rush makes here. And School of Rush, they need to play this calm. They need to play this collected. They cannot get too in their heads, because if they start, questioning, if they start being afraid that this is the last map in the series for them, it almost certainly will be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, going to this, I mean, and I'm thinking of layout, of course. If Requiem, probably doing the same thing. They're going to have Underscore and Bolt. They're going to have a, what else forgot? Kirio, Lucio. Now Twist doesn't have Tracer. I do think they'll go with the Venture. They'll probably run Venture, Soj, probably both sides. Be the same DPS lineup. Maybe Symmetra comes in. I don't think so, but on this time map, you never know. Tank-wise for School of Rush, I mean, the Arista could work, Ramatra could work, right? It just depends on your playstyle. You're probably also going to run Lucio, Kiri, backline. Maybe you run Lucio, Ana, if that's what you've played before. You haven't seen it, so I think it's very low, but you never know. But on the other side, your team lineup or character lineup has to work together. It can't be like, oh, I'm going to go this side, 1-2-1, or like 1-3 and 1 splits. 2 and 3 man splits is the best bet. because the other side is going to be a one man, two man split, because balls will be running around. So you got to either play two separate groups, or you got to play all together and just have good target analysis on who you're going for and make sure everyone's on the same page. The moment someone's like, oh, this guy's low, I'm not going to say nothing and go chase, and then gets dragged out and gets cornered, now you're down a guy. And now you're down one, and you're on the back foot. So School Rush just has to play a bit. If they're going to play split, they have to play at least a togetherness of split. They can't run by yourself around the corner chasing someone. That's going to get you, that's going to bite you.
Yeah, a very good way to get assassinated by Requiem here. But diving into Nepal, again, we are at match point here for Requiem. This is their chance to close it out, make it a 4-2 series, and take the grand finals crown for themselves here. But School of Rush, they need to play spoiler to this. If they want to have a chance to win themselves, they need to win this map to send us to a map 7 here. Nepal is where it all is going to rest upon at this point here. And within that, I mean, there's a little bit of the RNG to be had of each of these 3 individual objectives here. I think that something like Village might really suit School of Rush very well. But if for some reason that submap does not come up in the playstyle, where you can just have, all right, we're going to Village first. Fantastic. So I think this really should play a bit more to School of Rush's tastes here, especially the way they've been running their Ramantra comps. In this instance, with a Reinhardt composition, I cannot wait to see this play on the objective.
Yeah, Twisted goes to Genji. Okay. Different, but actually does stick with the Symmetra. So we do have the Symmetra. You still have the cast. I mean, yeah, there's definitely different take entirely of what I'm expecting against the ball. But hey, that shield might be your lifesaver. You're gonna get knocked around, it's gonna happen. But you might be able to keep you alive. Fives gets the first pick on Key. Fury on Fury Violence starting early. And I mean, we're gonna maybe take point. Ball comes in just too late to stop it. 3 point ball. Our score's low. Fish is also low. Our score really having to get out of there to get the health pack there back on his side of spawn. Almost gets popped there. Our score down. Wow.
Yes, exactly how this map needs to open up for School of Rush here. They need to gain first control of the, small little objective here and just have a Ryan shield ready to roll. And of course, the Symmetra can teleport you all the way around the entire map space here. And those turrets are just a nice little bit of slow and tick damage onto somebody that are just gonna be another thing to deal with coming into each of these aggression points here. So School of Rush, they're really in the driver's seat here. This is exactly how they want to be playing. This is exactly the map they want to start on here. Underscore is now swapped over to the Orisa, so trying to find something to answer this Reinhardt sim composition here. And those beams are still going to be devastating. You gotta be so careful. Oh, that is not where Boot wants to be at all. Banana Shake getting the pick out kill onto them, and they're just going to tick past 60% here.
Yeah, 60% up. I mean, unfortunate for Boot cannot get over that little lip there on that little shrine. I mean, it happens. It happens, but that's so unfortunate, especially when your team wasn't even there with you. You were just there by yourself, makes it even worse. But it actually is going to so much charge off this Orisa, off this Genji. Rush comes out. MT has beat if need be, but it does not going to matter, I don't think. Wow, they're just showing out. Again, every trick up their sleeve, they're showing it out right now, and it is working. I mean, this is the best way. Twisted, going for a touch, I assume. Well, Lucky also gonna try to look for a touch. Sim is going to be so annoying here because once you touch, you're gonna be stuck in there. So you're gonna be like a sacrifice, I think, going in here.
Yeah, this is Requiem's last chance to make this point any benefit to them here. Underscore does not even have anything close to ultimate at this point. The rush comes through from Key, puts them onto the objective, but that is all the further they're going to get as the ultimates come through from School of Rush. Yeah, the Deadeye into the pin, into the shatter. It's just curtains. That wall is just icing on the cake for School of Rush. And Village, again, blink and you miss it, 100-0. That is the perfect sub map for School of Rush here. And they take the 6th map in the series to a commanding lead here. Requiem, I mean, they're sweating coming in to Sanctum here.
Oh my god, that is... Wow, not even a pick on the other side.
Oh god.
I mean, the DPS on the side have only died 1. But it don't matter if everyone else has died 3. That just means you escaped. I mean, oh my god. Underscore's not looking good either. I mean, your Kiriko is close to out damaging you. That's wild. Also, a little update. Polaris has took it back a map. It is now 2-1 corrupted guys. So not a full shutout yet. There's still some life on that side of things. Back to the grand finals, the more important scenario, I think. Here.
Yeah, diving into it, you've got School of Rush here with Fish on that Reinhardt, tries to get the pin, send off the edge, but Twisted just manages to get away with his life, but that is all. And the rest of the team is, you know, playing a bit scattered at this point. Now they've got a Genji to worry about somewhere in the ether who's not played up with the rest of the team at this point here. Goes through with another charge. There's nothing really you can do to stop this Reinhardt except maybe punch directly through his shield. So that might be just the thing. Underscore ready there with the Ramatra. An excellent answer to this Reinhardt composition for School of Rush, but Gala lands a headshot onto Boop. So just taken down from down a town at that point there. Requiem does get first take here. School of Rush, yeah, we're kind of sort of even blow for blow at this point.
Yeah, both Lucios here are looking for just a Boop off the map. That's how it always goes. I mean, you see Boop up there right now. He is playing top pillar, just trying to get someone to come over to him. Or Machim here. Okay, I'm well, so far it's bunching and blocking. Actually does get a nice pick on Boop there. No worry about any Boop from Lucio. That gives him a big advantage here just to take space. Quick flip.
Yeah, still a fight without any ultimates, so very, you know, obviously it has to be cheap. There's no way to spend anything coming into that one there, but still in the neutral. School of Rush take it back into their favor here, so they're gonna be certainly up to at least 30% by the time Requiem set foot on the objective here. Lucky's the first one on the board with the ultimate. Five's about to have that Kitsune Rush as well as to be so careful just to stay alive, put so much damage in on the Fish. Still gets, yeah, just gets healed up for a little bit, but not quite enough as Boop and Twisted come through with the kills. The rush laid through for both teams here on that high ground. And yeah, it looks like just up to 32%. A little bit past that is all School of Rush are going to get here, achieving parity, but that is it here as Requiem. They spend 2 ults, but they are the perfect 2 ults in that fight. School of Rush are going to come in with just a couple of their own.
Yeah. I mean, Gala here with OC has to go nuts. The main person looking for that Lucio. B comes out, doesn't matter. Now you're playing on the back foot, no sense for it. B comes out from School of Rush from Empty. They might punish Twisted here. They do, so it gets some good value out of it. A little bit of a close call there. Your own spawn. I mean, Gala's looking for something. They're all looking for something here. Poop's trying to take some play up. Oh, he's just gonna get, yeah, he's gonna get punished there.
Underscore goes for the annihilation, but unfortunately there's really no one alive to keep them kicking in the fight here. No sustain, no support. You still have Boop and Keed coming back off respawn at that point. Twisted does have this blade. I mean, the objective has not been flipped over yet, so Twisted does not, unfortunately, puts the health bars low, but does not get a finish off onto anyone here. Really, Requiem is just playing for time. They are just playing for percentage points here. They get up to 82, which honestly is more than they probably would have expected with the way that fight was going so early on.
Yeah, and I mean, there's School of Rush here. That's a lot of percentage given up because now it comes down to, hey, this could be your last fight for this out of the map. You got to make it worth it. And who comes out? Oh, it does not matter. So much damage coming out. And there's taking out. Just gonna knock him down. I mean, good ult by Banana Shake to counter Lucky and get no value again out of it. Twisted so low. This is a deep play. Banana Shake still brings him up. So. Great picks, got some good stagger there to get 1 DPS gone. It's last fight. I think no matter what, this is the last couple fights here, and everything's gonna have to work out in whoever's going.
One final chance to make this one work here as Gala's got the overclock ready to roll. The rush comes through from Keed. Both Hives and Keed immediately taken down here despite laying the rushes on the high ground. But Banana Shake is there to add some discord to the equation. That Tectonic Shock putting in so much work. But Gala falls as well here. Boop off onto Fish. That might be just the thing to keep Requiem alive in this fight here. No more to be sung going forward. Another Boop comes through, but Banana Shake just gets toes on the objective, still alive. And that beat comes through from Empty, keeps 3 members kicking. Boop has a beat of their own. Yes, just manages to let loose on the objective. Overclock comes through. Gala is trying to find a target here, but also trying to stay alive at the exact same instant. Banana Shake falling so low, has to back up. Still underground on the objective here as Underscore's back on the ball, trying to lay as much chaos as you can, but they have to set toes on the objective here. No one's on the point. They are. Just a moment later, they managed to get it back into their favor, but Fish is here with the annihilation, rolling through onto the heads of the opponents, and that is going to be it. Overclock Wick, overtime Wick burns down so fast at that point. School of Rush will take the map, and they will take us all the way to a map 7.
Wow. Great game by School of Rush. I mean, that first point, they made it all work. They came out with so much pressure, didn't let Requiem get even a lick of percentage. So a bit closer second time round, but I mean, you can't be mad. I mean, holding them down to 100-0 and not letting them get a single pick that first time could not set the bar any higher for you. But now it's final match. No matter what match point, you're gonna win. Match point, you're gonna be second place. It's not just the middle game. Isn't it's another map. This is the map. It's not just one more map we can win. It's now, hey, this is make break. You walk away with a trophy, or you come second place. And no one wants to be second place in this situation.
Yeah, all of it is resting on both these teams' shoulders now at this point. So it is down to the wire. We've gone all the way here with as close as these teams looked coming into this series. It certainly looked possible to go all the way here. We saw some dominant performances on the very first map out from Requiem, but answered back just as strongly here for School of Rush. So we are far from done. There is one map left to go in the series here. We are going to Escort, and we'll find out exactly where we are going in just a few seconds here. But now it is Requiem's chance to send us somewhere of their choosing. I think the last time they gave up the map choice, they regretted it. So I'm hoping they do not do so yet again here. Yes, they have the chance to bring us where we want to go. We've seen that is not a guarantee of a map win here, but Requiem has been one to buck that trend so far. So this does favor them. Map pick very much does put them, in pole position here. But School of Rush, I mean, they're coming in with momentum. They just won in pretty solid... I mean, Village wasn't close. We saw that. No eliminations for Requiem.
No.
But Sanctum was. Sanctum was very much down to the wire. So, yeah, I would love to see, what exactly is going through the heads of School of Rush right now. They have to be feeling good about themselves, but, you can't let that head get too big. Otherwise, you're going to topple into the abyss.
Yeah, and I mean, going to Escort, I assume Amigo's going to come out and play tank. And it comes to bans here, there's not much that can be picked. When it comes to ban, I mean, we see these maps here. If Requiem, as they should, take the map, they'll probably Route 66. But I mean, they only have played 2 Escort maps. I assume this is just playoffs alone, but I mean, like, there's not really much to go off of here. I assume they've played a lot of Gibraltar and Route 66 in terms of scrims. So I assume Route 66 will be their pick. But if you're School of Rush, of course, just by what we see, you haven't played it. So Requiem has the upper advantage there. That would be their advantage to pick Route 66. If they don't, I will be shocked. That is a shock. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that was the... I think that was the last pick map that was supposed to be chosen.
I mean, yes, they haven't played it at all, which, could tell any number of stories here. Either they didn't want to, or they just never had to. But seems like they're comfortable enough on it. They seem to think they've got a handle for it, despite the fact that School of Rush, I mean, they look pretty dominant on this map, at least if history is anything to tell us. Now, of course, these are 2 teams who come to us not from the very top of their brackets here in, playoffs. So whatever the map scores going into this one are not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination here. So Gibraltar might be just the thing. Overall, I would say that Escort does kind of favor School of Rush for the most part here. It looks as though Requiem tends to avoid playing this map type if they can, or they just haven't had to. So this is going to be tough. There's not a lot of room to wiggle, not a lot of corners to back yourself up into left, both in terms of map pick and for hero ban. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this affects we've had a completely full slate of 10 different heroes banned out so far. Sorry, 12 different heroes banned so far.
That's crazy. I mean, you're School of Rush here, right? You can't get rid of Winston. You already banned it. I assume underscore's not playing this map. You never know. But what we saw during Time Amigo was maybe you get rid of Diva just because, or Hazard, I think are one of the best 2 tanks you get rid of here with your first ban. If you're trying to get rid of a tank. If you're looking at DPS, there's not much you can go off of because they're Lucky and Twisted are going to play their preferred heroes, which will be Tracer and Freya. Maybe they'll play someone else. I highly doubt. Support wise, BAP and Brig are the only 2 you can really pick. I think you go for the tank and you take out Diva or Hazard. I think that's your best bet, and then you can play around that. Requiem on the other side of things comes to bans. You have plenty of options. You still have Lucio, you still have Kiriko. You can even ban Tracer if you wanted, but I doubt they will. But you have 2 very good supports you could still pick just to throw in there because you have not picked them yet. So Requiem has a little bit more choice.
Yeah, I mean, even a Sojourn ban for Requiem would not go amiss either. Gala's really been favoring it a bit more. I mean, Lucky has been looking so good on it so far, but like, again, it's one of those situations where getting Tracer out of it is something that been so damaging to you. So we've seen that Lucky also has plenty of versatility otherwise. So there is room to work without a Sojourn in the mix, whereas I feel like School of Rush tends to rely on it quite heavily. So I would cautiously recommend that as a ban for Requiem, but I mean, even for School of Rush, they could ban out they can't ban out the Freya, of course, but if they banned out the Sojourn of their own, just assuming Gala would go with something else, I don't see that as the most far-fetched thing either.
Also, quick note with how these maps are laid out. Requiem picked the map layout. So they picked Escort to be the final map. Even though stats show they don't play much Escort, at least in matches. So they either feel super comfortable on Gibraltar and scrims and just know they can just dog on them the entire time, or they're thinking we're not going to get this far and we're going to have it be the last map because we're not going to play it. If the latter is the case, that might have been a potential mistake on their part. School of Rush might be happy that they picked this, that they had to go this route. But if you're Requiem, it's either you're super comfortable or you didn't think you were going to go to Game 7 and you thought you were going to beat them in 4, which is, of course, the correct mentality. But it might be here if they don't actually have any real good competitive experience on this map as a team.
Yeah, certainly very much up in the air whether or not they're that comfortable on this map or whether they just don't like this at all and they've been forced into this particular corner here and are just relying on the previous bans and their strength of their roster to move them forward here. I would love to see them continue on. That Winston style was looking so dominant for them on Ilios. Even having the option to go to Wrecking Ball should you need to, I think is exactly the angle for Requiem to take coming into this here, especially since neither of those can be banned. They are going to be in your hands the entire time here. What that tells you, though, is that School of Rush they're banning the Mercy. Oh, okay. I think that's just, we're here. We might as well ban something.
It might be a protection for Kiri Lucio or
Sure.
Possible. However, you could have played that a bit more in your favor with it. But hey, if that's your choice and you have a plan, I don't know that plan, so I can't be upset at it. But it's definitely different.
All right, now ball in Requiem's court. They banned the Diva. All right. Honestly,
Oh my god.
Honestly, I like that ban. If they know they're going to be playing either the Winston or the ball, they do not want to have something that can feast potentially on those tanks coming into this last one here. So having the Diva out, not a bad call. It certainly indicates that they have no intention of playing that. So yeah, you don't want any counters to your own in there. So sure, it'll have to do. It'll have to do.
I feel like School Rush, you could have banned the Brig, would have been a better ban unless you're running it. But on a dive-centric team like Ball and Winston, Brig is usually your support counter for that. I guess you're going against it, so it makes sense. But even on the other side of things, if you're going to run dive, it would be the one to get rid.
There's always the possibility that both teams agreed at the very start of the match that we were going to get a full 14 heroes banned. We are not going to have any repeats, no overlap whatsoever. We are banning as much of the Overwatch hero roster as we possibly can throughout this series here.
Yes, guys, this was staged from the get-go. They staged this before. They said, you know what, we're gonna go to Game 7. We're gonna throw this map. You guys throw that map, and then the last map, we're just gonna throw picks, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah,
that's never. I would not be surprised actually if that was the case. This was fixed up ban, but that is Mercy. The Mercy ban. I don't. It's just such. It's such a weird pick versus what you could have else picked. I mean, like you could have picked the map. I mean, I get you're gonna probably use it, but you could have bit that bullet and just got rid of it. You could have used the brig. Just if you're gonna run a certain type, it would be good to go with it. I just don't think Mercy was even a thought in Requiem's mind as an option to pick as support line. That's the issue. It's not like it's not a bad ban, but it definitely wasn't a thought to pick that person in your lineup.
Yeah, if anything, as we mentioned, support protection, but again, there are other ones you could have picked to make that work in your favor, yada, 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 it'll have to do. But all that being said, folks, we are diving into the final map of the series. Do not go anywhere. Just if you have to go to the bathroom, take this with you. You have to watch as we go through the final map of the grand finals here for the B League of BPL Season 7. It is down to the wire. Requiem versus School of Rush. Both teams have served very well throughout the series here. We've seen some excellent compositions, some surprising choices coming out from both of them so far. But coming into Gibraltar, this is it. It all comes down to this. And we're here in the nice sunny morning aspect of Gibraltar. Personally, my favorite of the different atmospherics for this map here. So coming through on the defense first is Requiem underscore on that ball. This, if I'm honest, irrelevant, is exactly what I want to see from Requiem. I want to see them play the most disruptive comp they've had all series long. It's what's given the most trouble to School of Rush, who are themselves hovering over a Winston composition with a Brig on a backline.
I mean, yeah, you're attacking first, so I get the Winston. I understand the Widow pick because Gala is just insane. TP over, I assume. You just got, as support, you have to be together. You can't stray because once that Brig moves to the Ana is fresh meat. And there ain't no one to protect her. What? I mean, hey, that's how you're gonna roll. That's how you're gonna roll. That was crazy. Just trying to get some going. 3 stacked up. Boop, trying to get some pressure from the skybox.
Yeah, Boot playing awfully close to the sun here, has to watch out for those headshots. Gala has proven their aim time and time again here. Again, a DPS roll star for the B League here. So underscore is able to put in, again, so much work coming all around here. Yeah, some crossbow bolts being eaten here, but Lucky is able to get out in the nick of time here as Fish proving themselves an adequate, more than adequate to the task here on that Winston empty. So that's got to be the Boop. Got both the backline here. Just happened to also go and didn't get confirmed for the kill there. So yeah, that's the Boop. Boop doing their namesake. That's exactly how it goes. Underscore squishing banana shake. Comes out on that echo. No chance to get much value for it. Mind games. So many mind games. Deep in the heads of School of Rush are Requiem.
Quick little update. Corrupted Guys has won the lower finals. They're moving on to the grand finals of A League. So Smoke Wolves versus Corrupted Guys. That'll be whenever that's planned. Polaris got third. Hey, you made it this far. Congratulations. Unfortunate it was early, but you made 3rd place.
Yeah, quick double tap there of the head. Gala just takes out Keed. Nice and quick. No chance to escape, unfortunately. It's the consistent damage coming through from Gala, who is now, again, off the Widowmaker, now on to the Ashe. Excellent pick. A little more flexible at these closer ranges, maintaining the high ground presence on a bit of a shorter cooldown with that coach gun, certainly. Boop is just trying to harass and draw so much pressure, so much attention. Falling blow, taking a lot of damage here, but School of Rush are able to rotate around. Boop, yeah, getting found out all the way alone here, not playing with the rest of the team at all. I'm not really exactly sure what his plan was to get out of that one. Twisted falling down as well as Gala is just putting in so much damage at range and close up here. Underscore is here trying to harass on the objective, but they're really kind of alone left here to twist in the wind. Everyone else, they're going to get maybe a touch here at the very end of point A, but the rally rolling through does get taken down. So Twisted, they're back in the fight here on the side of Requiem. Fish does clean up Twisted here, does have Primal Rage though, and is rolling with the nano boost of their own. Fives falls all the way down. Empty still rolling back from the spawn room, but that beat is in perfect timing out from Boop, keeping the rest of the team alive as they're getting booped around by Fish with this Primal Rage. Gala falls down, everyone else getting taken down on their side, and finally will have to beat a retreat.
I mean, you're so close to getting to that first point down, but you only have a minute on the clock, and Underscore has mines. Underscore has mines ready to go, and is probably gonna just keep him for the last fight. Or should. Will he? I don't know. Might just use him here. Yep. There they are. I mean, might get Fish out, but how they gonna get any... Oh, Underscore low is out. I mean, yeah, could just go for back up here. Yeah, just let him play low. Has to play alive correctly, though. Is just getting lit up. Her team isn't on the ground yet. Playing 1v4 right now.
Yeah, might have just been a...
Oh, Underscore gets back just in time.
Yeah, eager with that minefield, but it looks like there's just a few more bodies left on the objective here. Just not enough for Requiem. Yeah, I'm starting to think that might have been a decent idea for them to save that for the last fight there. But all that being said, an excellent play, a solid bob out from Gala. Does mean that School of Rush have cracked open point A, and with 2 minutes 30, not a second too soon, they roll through the hangar section.
He gets a nice little free pick there on Banana Shake, especially on Tracer. Ain't half bad. I mean, yeah, Underscore's gonna kind of ignore. Oh, big bola in that small room. Underscore's gonna keep. He gets. Oh my god. I mean, that's just a great stick by Twisted. Great use of DPS ults to at least get their ones each. It's not total waste. And on the other side, School Rush, they have three ults coming up. And on the other side, Requiem closer to Rush. And I mean, Mines will be up next. Oops, it's gonna be a little bit till they get beat because of, you know, the recent nerf, which kind of annoys me, but it happens. Yeah, finally regroup here. Girl.
Yeah, School of Rush need to take the tempo very much of this fight here. A nice little whip shot to keep Underscore at bay for a moment longer, and it turns out a moment is all you needed as the rest of School of Rush is diving directly onto the heads of Requiem. Back line all falling down quickly as Twisted, though, still alive, does get the kill into 5, Empty falling as well, but that is all they're going to get here. And it's going to be kind of a bit of a split fight coming into this. It's 3v3 right now. No tank on the board for Requiem here. If the Rush gets laid down, oh, a quick kill onto Gala. Keed lands a headshot. Kunai, and yeah, everyone from School of Rush just absolutely running for the hills at this point there. You do not want to be around while that Rush is still rolling. We're down to, once again, 1 minute scenario there, and Requiem have finally built themselves a nice defensive hold.
Yeah, 1 minute left. Underscore might keep Mines this time. Nope, he will not. He'll just play cutoff round. Hopefully it doesn't fight him again. Oh my god, he's gonna... Out. Empty does go down though, so they get something back in return. But he comes out. I think that was a one-man beat. I think that was a one-man beat.
Beat did land on the 3. We got Keyed and Lucky as well, but unfortunately it's not going to last too much longer. It's just enough though, as it kept them alive, it kept them in the fight. Fish is there with the Primal Rage, but is the only one alive and kicking here for School of Rush. That Primal looking a little bit sad, looking a little bit unfortunate here going forward into this last fight. Gauntlet's gonna have the Bob, but that is it for School of Rush.
Yeah, you got 15 seconds to at least get the point and get touched, and you cannot, if you're Gala here, you need to play protective. Oh my god, speaking of playing protective, got that like double digits. Yeah, Bob's just gonna get sent. Oh, great pick. Bob for just security. Good throw. Gets him next to point.
Oh, they're unfortunately not able to touch as the Bob is rolling through. No one's able to get to the point in time for Requiem. So on the defense, they're going to have to spin all the way back to point C here. Another minute and 15 on the clock left. What could have been a point B hold, unfortunately, just fell down, trickling one body at a time here. But now, ball's in Requiem's court. Only Banana Shake is going to have an ultimate here for School of Rush. Requiem slowly building towards a full stack of their own, emphasis on slowly.
I mean, hey, they're already halfway through. They're about to get around the corner. Ball comes in speed, but almost got around that corner really early. Big comes out. Empty takes a bullet for the whole team. It will not matter. Gala still goes down. And I think they're just going to play... who is... Oh, it's Banana Shake. I was like, who is in their back line? Banana Shake, I assume, gets out. They're going to play regroup. But yeah, we have a couple ults coming on School Rush, but I have 2 other side. You also have 2. Bullet shot again has been successful again, at least 1, but at least a assist with it every single time. Bullet shot comes out. Empty does not go down. Gala instead goes down first. Big rush. Only 20 seconds left. Either you gotta get out or you gotta die. Oh.
Yeah, it looks as though they're trying to die, unfortunately, on the side of School of Rush, but Requiem are not letting them get away here and just taking them down one by one. Certainly let School of Rush get a little bit further than you would have liked here on point C. And that is only if you can clinch this one out here and now here. The rush coming through from 5. The mines laid down. There were just 2. Undeniable here. As Underscore does take them out. Fish gets the better of Keed, but Lucky is still there in the skybox. Launching crossbow bolts left, right, and center. Exploding Fish at the very end of the day. Revenge is a best served with explosive crossbow bolts, to be sure. With that, Requiem will hold at point C. School of Rush, that is not a bad push whatsoever. Considering it went down to overtime for essentially both of the previous rounds, both the previous points, not bad at all for School of Rush. Requiem, they have their work cut out for them. This is a win condition, yes, but it is a tall order to get this deep into the map.
Him showing out with the DPS and the kills. I mean, Boop's going with not double digits, but if you look at this side, something better than their whole other support line combined. I mean, minimum most S is 5 for Requiem. The most on the side is 9, being Gala. Gala is just getting kind of forced out and is being the first entry pick, I feel like, every other or every 3 fight. So Gala either has to play a bit more cautious or has to pull the trigger first than the other side. Lucky showing the Widow, maybe just for the early pick. Might just try to best Gala to prove that maybe they deserve the spot as DPS All-Star instead of Gala. So, who knows?
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility here. Gala, of course, is just coming out on the Ashe, deciding to stick with that angle. Honestly, worked really well for them the entirety of the time they were playing that. Those bobs came in absolutely clutch, certainly forcing Requiem away from the objective at crucial moments, coming through point B. I mean, honestly, not alone, but Bob certainly was a contributing factor to point B even being capped at all for School of Rush's offense there. So yeah, Lucky coming out on the Widow for at least a few moments here. Underscore gets slept, gets whipped, gets everything thrown directly at their face, but is a wrecking ball and can just shrug it off, just sleep it off, no problem there. Lucky is swapped now over to the Freya. All right, so yeah, so much work being done on this pick on defense. Not all surprised to see them on it for the offense, but Wives lands a bionade directly onto Keed and just sends them directly back to spawn. Quick respawn there for the offense, but Lucky and Underscore both teaming up to take Empty out quick in this fight. That's going to be a much longer run back.
Yeah. And I mean, balls are going to come up and try to just knock you off height. Try to just, get you to look. And I mean, cart's still moving underneath, but it's not too far to where it's a big issue or big worry. Only halfway. I mean, if you're Empty here, though, you got to watch out for ball. Sometimes does go down to Underscore though. Both goes down. So it's still 4-4, even as can be. Gala is barely living there. Oh, never mind. Gala goes down.
5 so clearly indicated as the dive target in so many of these fights. So quickly do the side of Requiem want to just explode upon that immobile Ana. As long as the Empty is not around, gets booped up, gets sent away, just so easy just to pick apart there. But Keed is the one to clean up these kills as the last trickling touches come through onto the objective. 5 minutes in the time bank. Polar opposite of the first point A push that School of Rush had on their offense here. So Requiem looking really solid, and they're coming into this one with 4 ults.
Go for ults, and I mean, you have everything going your way, some of the times, some of the pick, how your playstyle's working. I mean, if you're a School of Rush here, either something's got to change, or you're gonna have to start looking at someone else other than Ball. I mean, both of you guys are gonna point. Lucky is a menace. Knight's got it really early. I mean, blocking up both support, so it does something. 4 ults still for School of Rush. 3 on the other side. Oops, in close to beat. So enough to tank, but you gotta get a stop here. You're just walking.
Oh, Pulse Bomb's out, but Twisted does get the better Banana Shake after they both come through. Underscore eats that stick from Banana Shakes, but is able to get recouped. More health back into the bargain there. We do get a good bit of overhealth coming through from the rally out from Empty, but Gala falls down despite the Bob alive and kicking. There is still plenty of point presence being had from Fish and that Bob as well. Of course, trying to keep everyone alive is Fives there. The Nano comes through onto Fish, trying to build up towards that Primal Rage, but the beat comes through. Massive one from Boop. Incredibly valuable, getting so many kills in the back end of that fight. And this one is just all falling apart for School of Rush here. Requiem are hitting all of the ults at all exactly the right times here. Now they're coming into this potential last fight and a half of the series with, you know, not any real ultimates on either side here, but Requiem is far closer to theirs. And School of Rush, I mean, they're panically swapping here.
Yeah, I mean, you have 5 minutes on the clock again, and they have to make it less than halfway. It's gonna be a just top tier that is worth their while. I mean, ours goes low, so they get a good decent pick, and that cart good, still pushing. And then they got the tank on. That cart still is less than one good fight away from being taken.
Yeah, School of Rush has to be so careful here, have to play their lives so cautiously, using this corner for all it's worth here. Fish is just barely keeping this shield up and running. Yeah, immediately collapsed there. Not a whole lot you can do in the face of such overwhelming destruction as Lucky lets through with the bola shot. Underscore taking that immortality field. No chance to stay alive here on the side of School of Rush. Requiem have rolled forward, ball at the front. Wow. There's no chance to touch as Lucky rolls onto them. The rest of Requiem pile on, and they will do it. They have finally, here in our B League, cleaned up. They started off so strong in this series, went down to a few unfortunate maps there. School of Rush looks so good, but Requiem cleaning up and finishing strong in commanding fashion here. They will take the series 4-3, and they are your grand finals champions for B League BPL Season 7. Congratulations to our winner.
And I mean, Requiem going from the second round of play-ins, being the 7th seed, being the 2nd and 3rd seed, and only losing one map the entire time to get to this final seed, to go to a game 7. I mean, this is unexpected. I'm not going to say unexpected, but definitely wasn't in the cards for whose people's predictions were. Predictions definitely could be top 4, maybe number 5 and number 6 were going to be the next ones, maybe potentially closest. I don't think anyone saw out of top 5 even have a chance of getting this far. So great, big props to Requiem making this far. Unfortunate for School of Rush. Hey, you still went to the bottom first round. You made it all the way back up here. You had a gauntlet to go through because you had to go against the second. You had to go against first seed in the lower bracket, and you had to go against 3rd seed in the lower bracket. I mean, you still had your own ride to get here. You still made it this far. Hey, you put it 7. I mean, you didn't win, but at least you weren't swept. At least you weren't taken out horribly. So, do you have an MVP on the side of Requiem?
I mean, honestly, it's tough to pick. Everyone was just operating at such a high level, but I really have to give so much credit. Oh my god, it's really tough, honestly, at this point. Like, you want to say Underscore because the ball play was just so beautiful. It was just so disruptive and so devastating. But I honestly could give it to anybody. I'm open to suggestions at this point here.
I'm gonna give it to Lucky, only because Twisted at the first half wasn't all there. I have a little tally sheet. Was like 1-7 with pulse bombs and since I'm just sticking. Then flipped the script and went like 7-0. So props to getting that locked in. However, Lucky was good the entire way through. Consistent, even when they got their Frey got banned, still showed strong going along. I mean, you saw the Soj play coming out. I think Lucky to me is MVP. Just for if there was some slack there on their side of things, they picked it up pretty quick. They realized their mistakes, they fixed as soon as they could. I would give it to Twisted, but considering how the games went from beginning to end, Lucky was better all the way through.
Yeah, I buy it for Lucky, especially considering they were in the entirety of the series as well. The whole way through, putting up massive numbers, such amazing clutch potential throughout the entirety of it. So yeah, most credit I would give it to Lucky as well there. But yeah, an excellent play from the entire team. It truly was a team effort here for Requiem, for School of Rush as well. Like these teams, there were obviously stars on these rosters. You can't deny that, of course.
Yeah.
But these were team efforts. There was no instance where someone was carrying the rest of the team here. This was completely synergistic gameplay being had from both these teams. So full credit and respect to the entirety, backlines included always. For these rosters here. Looking at the finals MVP, we do have Underscore coming through,
okay.
the grand finals MVP. I mean, the ball play was just so delightful to get to see here. From the very first map in the series to the very last one. Obviously, they were not playing it the entire way through here, but whenever they were in, it was just absolute chaos, just delightful getting to see the ups and downs and the disruption that it really felt like there was no real clear answer to on the opposing side here. So well deserved, earned by Underscore.
Yeah, deserved. I mean, ball playing great. Even when on Ilios, when ball was banned, still showed out on Winston. I mean, even when it was put against him, he still showed out with what else he could play. It's just how it works. But I mean, props to both teams. You can't be mad at that outcome. Requiem, again, props to you being 7th seed, going through a gauntlet of number 2, number 3 seed after trying to beat a team. I mean, like, yeah, and you only lost once. You swept number 2, you swept number 3. Again, School of Rush had to go against Mothmania after losing, and they swept the number 1 seed who were undefeated in the regular season. So, props to them. And then they go around and they beat Aurora. At least the gentlemen sweep them. And then Blind Music Society. I mean, they still had their own gauntlet to go through. I'm just happy this went to a game 7 and wasn't a complete one-sided match. So, that's...
All right, folks. First things first, we do have a couple interviews. The first one here is an exit interview with School of Rush, our runners-up for the title. So let's welcome them here into the chat. All right, here we go.
A lot. Oh my god. Oh my
the
god.
whole roster here.
The whole
in the
roster.
chat.
There's a lot of people.
Bro, I'm letting group leader speak. Oh.
Who is group leader?
Fish.
Fish.
What?
I don't know. I had to ask. I don't know.
Group leader. That's group leader.
That is actually what they call me on, ironically.
I actually don't know his actual name. He's just group leader to me.
All right, well, fantastic, friends. Sorry you didn't fully get it out in the end of it there, but congratulations on getting this far here. What was it like coming through the entirety of the lower bracket, getting to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, you know, the game we lost was a little unfortunate. I was playing on the laptop, so we just weren't really ourselves that day. We kind of knew how good we were. We kind of like destroyed everyone in scrims, like low-key all season. So it was like, we kind of knew in the back of our head that, you know, we could compete with the top teams. But yeah, we warmed up against Requiem once. They destroyed us. So, you know, it does feel good to definitely like put up a fight. Yeah, we tried our best.
Very, very humble. I don't have a question at all. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know you guys lost your first game, but going through your little bit of a gauntlet in the losers bracket, what were your guys' minds having to go against the 1 seed and then having to go against like the number 2 seed back like within the first 2 weeks of the losers bracket?
I feel like some of us were kind of worried going into it, but then the games were honestly pretty easy. We kind of just stomped through the lower bracket. This is the only game that's been like hard for us.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of uncertainty going into like the Mothmania one, because like we hadn't scrimmed them and they were like undefeated in their bracket and whatnot. So we were kind of just like, oh, maybe this might be crazy. But I think after we 3-0'd that one, I think the game versus Aurora, me personally, I knew we were going to win that one because Wave was gone. No disrespect to anybody on Aurora, but I feel like Wave was like literally like the craziest player in the division. And then unfortunately, they like had to go. So I feel like after the Mothmania one, I think we were just really confident all the way through. I think even going into this one, we were still pretty confident, but just fell short.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you looked really great throughout so much, and honestly, to the very end of the series as well. What did it take for you guys to sort of come back after losing the first map to Requiem here? What was your sort of game plan, your headspace come to, oh god, the second one at this point, eludes me. Yeah, so into Junkertown, all the way back at the start of the series. What did you have to do to swing back?
You want to answer this one, Fish?
Fish?
Sorry, what was the question?
All right.
It's my team leader.
What did it take for you guys to swing back after losing the first map in this series here?
Yeah, we
You're going to the void, bro. You're going to the void.
Sorry, that happens sometimes. Is it bad?
No, you're good, bro.
No, you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, we had no idea it was going to be that map. We practiced Numbani. So yeah, it was just kind of like going one map at a time. We knew that the J-Town was going to be good for us. So just, looking forward next map.
I don't have any other questions because I mean, it was. I have a question. What was your guys' confidence in that Nepal map? The first map in Nepal. What was that moral like? I want to know those cons. Like, what was being said that you can say, of course. But what was that like? How high for y'all?
What?
I just got off the 6-hour marching band week 1 shift. I'm getting ready to go back to college football, and I joined the call and I was watching this Saravasa and I'm like, damn, these guys are getting fucking packed up by this ball. What the fuck can we play? And I go, guys, low-key Reinhardt fucks right here. Like, you just shield the ball when he slams and you just do, and then he does nothing. And then Fish was like, yo, fuck it, bro, I'm rolling out Reinhardt. And then they just they played with confidence and they won. Like,
because we pop open, I was like, okay, ball, and I see this like Reinhardt, a bit unconditional, and then Symmetra and all that, and I just see like ball get just like melted instantly. Like, oh, well, it worked in their favor, I guess.
No, yeah, like my thought process is if the ball slams and you hold the shield, then they can't shoot your team whenever you're holding the shield up. Like, it works,
Mm-hmm. Surprising.
All right, y'all, that is going to do it for us for the exit interview. Is there anything, last thing you want to say to the fans, to the community at large before we let you go?
Can I have the floor just for a minute?
Okay. Let me go after
I just want the floor for just 1 minute. This is my favorite team I've been on, like, ever. I love these guys. Gala was the best player in the league. B-Shake was the best flanker player in the league, shitting on everyone, even today. Our backline was underrated all season. Everyone hating, not watching the games. Fives took a massive lead throughout the season. Empty, Will, like, super underrated, just always doing their job. And I just want to say, like, everyone, like, this is talking to my teammates now, like, head up, like, we deserve to win. It's all good.
Yeah.
GG's.
And GG to Requiem. And like, I know like a lot of people are gonna put asterisks next to it because of like quote unquote things going on, but like it was 4-3. Like, it was a winnable map for us. They just played better, and it is what it is. So GG's to them. And don't be weird.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Once again, folks, that is School of Rush, your second place finishers, which is still a massive thing here for the B League. So massive congrats once again. Sorry we didn't get to see you for the final, but hey, you did such a good job. It was such a delightful game to watch you all the way through.
Thank you. It was fun to play. So,
It was.
Yeah. Man, I'm just I don't get to play with you guys anymore. All right, bye guys.
We still made broadcast. Oh, we still made broadcast. I thought we were like, my bad.
Live? Oh shit.
Yeah, I missed my first BPL. I had a great time. Wait, what? Are we still on
I
broadcast?
just want to thank you guys for hosting, by the way, for all of this.
Yeah, this has been so cool.
Yeah. All right.
Me and Hope are both
Bye.
noobs, so kick us out.
I was gotta leave.
Hang on.
All right, folks, a couple final things to wind down for the evening here. We are going to have a look at the schedule real quick. We do now know when the A-League Grand is going to be, so just having a look here. The final matches for BPL Season 7, so yes, of course, we just had the finish here for Requiem versus School of Rush. Corrupted Guys did win out over Polaris there, and Smoke Wolves will be taking on Corrupted Guys there in the final Friday at 9 p.m. So got a few days to wait, a little bit of time to rest and recuperate before the last game of the season. I know it's over already, can you believe it? But what a journey it's been for these teams to get here. Smoke Wolves has been looking so solid since they came with that bye directly into. But honestly, taking really close. This is going to be a rematch of Smoke Wolves and Corrupted Guys here, the ones who sent them to the lower brackets. So that is always one of the most delicious narratives. Cannot wait to see those two duke it out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to know when the next season is, because I want to watch some more games. No date. Oh, we do have a date. I didn't see that pop up till just now. That's
yes,
cool.
It's going to be Friday at 9 p.m. is, I believe, what the schedule required.
Perfect. I will try to be there for that. I doubt, but I'll try. But yeah, no Requiem interview. Fortunate. Kind of wanted to have one. All right. Yep. I'm all good. Anything else you would like to say, Rags?
Nah, that was a ton of fun. I love when Grand Finals goes all the way to 7 maps. It is just delicious. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for the fantastic game between Requiem and School of Rush here. Again, do not forget, the Grand Finals for A-League is going to be on Friday. You do not want to miss that game. So we will see you then and there. But until next time, from all of us, thanks for joining us. Thanks to production, everyone doing such amazing work all night long. All the credit, all the rep. But have a great rest of your night. Have a great week, and we'll see you Friday.
See you Friday.
I know I should leave, 'cause you're driving me mad. You burn like a fire. I'm so goddamn naive. I keep coming back, 'cause you're taking me higher. Higher than I've ever been before. Then you let me down again, close the door. I know I should leave, 'cause you're driving me mad. You burn like a fire. Now you're calling again, sugarcoat everything, but it doesn't make it sweeter. We wake up in my bed, I forget what you did, but it doesn't make things easier. You're with my again. I believe in every word you say, baby. Now you're calling again, sugarcoat everything, but the truth still tastes as bitter. I know I'm a fool, here we go again. I think I might lose it. I try playing it cool, but you have your ways, you know what you do. I'm higher than I've ever been before. Then you let me down again, close the door. Yeah, I'm such a fool, here we go again. I think I might lose it. Now you're calling again, sugarcoat everything, but it doesn't make it sweeter. We wake up in my bed, I forget what you did, but it doesn't make things easier. You're with my again. I believe in every word you say, baby. Now you're calling again, sugarcoat everything, but the truth still